With their eyes gazed upon a greater goal ahead, the UMass Boston Beacons continue their 2016 NEHC campaign. They welcome a familiar foe as the Nor'easters drift south from the wharfs of Biddeford, Maine. That's up next, right here on the Beacons Broadcasting Network. Thank you for sticking with us this afternoon. For Matt Meisenbacher, I am John Skudras. Offense has been the name of the game all season for Peter Belisle's Beacons. A nearly unrivaled ability to pepper opposing netminders has UMass nearing a conference championship in what many believed would be a transitional year. Last night, Tyler Bishop and company continued that trend, peppering Southern Maine to the tune of 58 shots en route to a 5-2 dismantling of their rivals from the north. Bishop tallied 2 of those goals, raising his season total to an eye-opening 10. Zach Andrews stopped 23 of 25 shots to improve to a sparkling 6-0 as the Beacons' power play continued to wreak havoc with 4 scores in 7 opportunities. The Beacons' success has been well documented, and Matt, last night it was another case of the Beacons just outgunning their opponent.
It was 2-2 going into the third period, and quite honestly, I thought out of the gate Southern Maine had a little bit more of an edge. They had a total physical presence, which we really hadn't seen much, especially with as fast a team as the UMass men are. So the first 2 periods were pretty even. It was 2-2 headed into the third, but what ended up being the end point was that UMass, again, with that speed and with that size, were able to mash up physically and then just beat them with speed. By the end of the game, Southern Maine could do nothing but just ice the puck, and 3 goals in the third period to secure a 5-2 win.
Meanwhile, less than 24 hours after their drubbing of the Huskies, the Beacons welcome another resident of the Pine Tree State as UNE comes to town. At 11-7-2 overall, it's been a respectable campaign for Kevin Swallow's club. In fact, just last week, the Nor'easters flooded Southern Maine and Biddeford to the tune of a 9-2 drubbing. Back-to-back losses this week to Colby and Babson have exposed some of UNE's defensive woes. That could be key today, as perhaps only the U.S. Navy has as much firepower as the Beacons do on their 4 lines. In order to survive the UMass assault, UNE is going to have to match them point for point. To do that, they'll likely turn to the Florent brothers. This dynamic duo has combined for 45 points in 40 games this season. Junior Trevor Florent leads the way with 9 goals and 14 assists, while little brother Brady is right on his heels, with the freshman coming in just 1 point behind. Throw in another diaper dandy, freshman forward Dylan Bankston, and you have a trio of young, talented, and awe-inspiring offensive catalysts whose success today will determine whether or not Boston will be on upset alert. It'll be Connor Maloney between the pipes. He's 5-0 this season, though his peripheral numbers don't quite match up to senior Mason Riley's statistics. It'll be interesting to see how he is tasked with trying to slow down a UMass offense whose only weakness right now may be self-inflicted complacency. And Matt, UNE gave Babson a solid fight last night. What do they have to do to come away with the upset today against the Beacons?
This is going to be a challenge. They're going up against a UNE team that, quite honestly, these are probably the 2 hottest teams in the conference. In UMass, Babson, who's dealing with a little bit of an injury to starting goaltender Jamie Murray. You hear these rumors through the grapevine. Nothing officially released yet, but didn't play last night, won't play tonight. UNE lost to them last night by a single goal, and quite honestly, I think, like I said, 2 hottest teams in the conference. So really going to be interesting. I think the first period is going to be really indicative of how this game's going to go. I can see it going a multitude of ways. 2 teams that are going to come in ready to drop. As soon as that puck hits, we're going to see 2 teams that are ready to go at it.
Absolutely, and we've seen great brothers in hockey history over the years, most notably the Sedin twins in Vancouver, the Hayes brothers for BC, both Kevin and Jimmy. How does the familiarity of playing with a brother on the ice help out like it's helped the Florents so far?
Yeah, I can tell you, I got a brother who's a forward and another who's a defenseman, so we kind of scan all different positions. But, in talking to growing up and having brothers and siblings that have played together, there's this uncanny ability to know where the other is. You mentioned the Sedin twins. They're on another level with it, obviously, being able to do it on the NHL, being actual twins. But when you're brothers, you've been playing with each other for so long, you know the tactics, you know the tendencies, you can generate a lot of offense, in this case both being them forwards, off of that type of chemistry that really you're born with.
Absolutely. We'll find out if Boston is the true city of brotherly love today as the Nor'easters, led by their talented young core, take on the Beacons' offensive juggernaut. That's right here on the Beacons Broadcasting Network. And we get a chance now to look at the all-time series between the Beacons and the Nor'easters. Oh boy, Nor'easters, based on history, have an uphill battle. 17-0-1 overall, 13 victories in a row for the Beacons. Their last time out in November, the Beacons won 8-3. They've scored 7 or more goals in 3 of their last 4. I mean, Matt, all the trends point to UMass coming out victorious.
Those numbers are based on UNE being a newer program and, quite honestly, being a bottom feeder in the conference. You knew playing against UNE, whether it was here or whether it was at their place up in Maine, that it was more than likely a point night. and you see kind of what we see here, 17-0 all time, the last game, and 2 career games for Lemire, 2 goals, 5 assists. Tonight is going to be a different story. This team has grown by leaps and bounds. They've put in the necessary time to get this team to a position where 4th in the conference, only a few points back from really being in the top 3, and I think tonight we're going to see a UNE team that is kind of a 180 from what we've seen teams in the past.
Absolutely, and as we get a chance to look at the NEHC standings, we'll see where the Beacons stack up against their opponents. You see Beacons right now on top, but Babson right at their heels still. These two teams split a home and home a couple of weeks ago. It's going to go right down to the wire.
It really is. I mean, you can kind of, with Norwich lost last night, the top 2 spots, it's really going to come down to a race between UMass and Babson, teams within 2 points of each other, and then you see Norwich and UNE fighting for those last 2 home playoff spots at 17 and 15 points. So tonight, going against a UNE team that has been very hot in this second half of the season, against a UMass Boston team 11-1-1 all overall, or in conference rather, a team that we've seen can really come to play on any given night. But again, I go back to that game last weekend against Skidmore where they were really challenged.
Well, let's take a look at the Beacons' victory over one of those bottom feeders in the conference, the University of Southern Maine, last night right here on the Beacons Broadcasting Network. Will try to make it 2 in a row this weekend after that victory 5-2 last night. Let's take a look at the team stats between UMass Boston and these New England Nor'easters. As you see, the Beacons definitely besting the Nor'easters in almost every facet, including that power play, where that 26% power play continues to dominate their opponents this season. Let's look at the individual leaders between these two teams as UMass Boston sees Frankie DeAugustine's 2016 continue to torrentially downpour on opponents. The Nor'easters will have a tough time overcoming that. Real quick, Matt, how about Frankie DeAugustine in that top line?
DeAugustine, they actually moved him down to that secondary line to try to get that line going, moved Ali Daly up to the top. The one name we see other than the L's, Larkin, Lemire, and DeAugustine is Tyler Bishop, who's been great.
He certainly has. Let's look at the goalie matchup between these two teams as It'll be Billy Faust back in net. He got the much-deserved night off last night. He'll be back out there after Zach Andrews was spectacular. He'll be facing off against the youngster Connor Maloney in 5 victories in 8 games this year. Maloney is looking for his 6th win of the season. We're going to pause for a moment of silence, as well as the national anthem, and go to a break here on the Beacons Broadcasting Network.
Paris changed my life, and I got there through UMass. Those very specific seminal moments in Paris, the subway. A man in a tuxedo walked in, and a woman in a long gown. And it was stunning. It all hit me. It was like a lightning bolt. There was this world of beauty and style that I wanted to be a part of. That was the beginning of the journey. And that all came through the University of Massachusetts. And that was really a key moment for me. That's one of those moments you never forget.
The University of Massachusetts Boston, with its scenic oceanfront campus, easily accessible to downtown Boston, is recognized as a model of excellence for urban public universities. 16 NCAA Division III sports are part of the more than 100 student organizations that create an engaging campus life in America's biggest and best college town. UMass Boston, Boston's urban public research university for the 21st century. The University of Massachusetts Boston, with its scenic oceanfront campus, easily accessible to downtown Boston, is recognized as a model of excellence for urban public universities. 16 NCAA Division III sports are part of the more than 100 student organizations that create an engaging campus life in America's biggest and best college town. UMass Boston, Boston's urban public research university for the 21st century.
The UMass Boston Beacons and the New England Nor'easters. That's up next right here on the Beacons Broadcasting Network. Before opening face-off, let's take a look at your UMass Boston player to watch. Brought to you by Thompson Brother Industries, the most advanced recycling facility in North America. Located in North Andover, we can handle anyone's recycling needs. And you look at Brian Carter, well, he does a great job on the blue line. A Boston Junior Bruins product, a freshman from Hudson, Massachusetts. Just 6 points in his first 19 career games, but in 13 NEHC games, he's got 5 of those points, including a goal on Friday, as Brian Carter continues to heat up down the stretch for the Beacons.
He's done a great job and stepped in, and one of the freshmen. He's a Boston Junior Bruin product, as you can see there, and has really just done a nice job on both sides of the puck. I think he's learning a lot from guys like Bishop, who have really shown him how to play. Again, you see these defensemen being able to step up in offensive rushes, and these guys are learning a lot from guys like Crawford, Bishop, and Mason. Good to see the freshmen tonight. We'll keep an eye on them.
Let's take a look at the UNE starters here on the Beacons Broadcasting Network as we get set for opening face-off. Danny Antonoff and Blaze Healy will be centered by Ben Pearl. Tucker Ross and Kyle Williams at the blue line, and as mentioned, Connor Maloney. We won't get a chance to look at the Beacon starters, so I'll just explain to you who's out there. It is Carter, fittingly so, out there with Bishop on the blue line. It'll be Colucci, Santapass, and DeAugustine, that second line, as Colucci wins the face-off, and the Beacons and the Nor'easters are underway this afternoon, and just like that, it starts out slowly and icing on UMass Boston. This game is brought to you by Northfield Informational Services. If you or your company are looking to invest and need risk models and analytics, look no further than Northfield Informational Services. Faceoff comes all the way back into the Beacons' end with Pearl taking it against Colucci. DC Niner ties up Pearl and allows Bishop to get the puck behind the net. He's taken out, and that's our player to watch, Brian Carter, getting control, moving it towards the red line, saucered back all the way in by Kyle Williams. Bishop pokes this one towards the blue line, siphoned away by Colucci, and now DeAugustine will backhand it. Good deflection play made there by Williams, the senior from Bodenham, Maine. This one sent all the way in. Bishop will take it, and New England will go for a line change. Coming on out here, Ryan Quinn, a senior forward, as he applies pressure on the forecheck. Glove down and D-to-D feed from Rossetti to Crow, and now Crow will pull back, stretch the ice for Rossetti, deflected off his stick for Gabe Shuckran. D-to-D for Crawford. Shuckran gets it back. Gabe tries to go forward. Instead, he has to defer back to Lemire behind the net, and the Beacons get that top line out there. Crawford Looking for Daly, he lets it trickle off the sideboards towards Larkin, but can't get to him, and then sent forward by Crow, deflected all the way down. This is not icing, as Crawford, with 18:50 to go in the first, backhands it towards his partner in crime, Chukrin. The ferocious Albie Daly stretch feed, as you hear Matt Meisenbacher, not a fan of that pass, intercepted in the neutral ice.
Well, he had Lemire streaking. He just missed him by a half step. It got picked off pretty clean. He saw it. He was just late on it.
There's a shot from the point wide off the stick of Nick DeTolo, a freshman from Peabody. This one coming behind the net, careening around the end boards, where Lemire picks it up and waits with the forecheck being applied by the youngest Florent, Brady, standing at 5'9". Lemire's backhander's intercepted. Good poke check there by Trevor Florent. Brady immediately got the puck, but then turned it over. This is icing on UMass Boston, as the first one to get up that one is Nick DeTolo. And we will see the faceoff come all the way back down.
John, one of the things I talked to Coach about before the game was having a good start to the first period. We've seen a tendency of late for this team to really start slow out of the gate. It's almost like a feeling out process. What type of game is it going to be today? Already we're seeing a few turnovers, and this passing really has been subpar of late. You need to tighten it up a little bit.
McGregor can't win that face-off. Shot from the point, deflected wide, as right in front of the net there was Armand Umileli. There's a tough one to say, as that one is careened wide. Armand, a native of Westport, Connecticut, spells his name U-O-M-O-L-E-A-L-E.
That's all you there, John. I'll let you take that one.
Thank you so much, as there is Armand. I'm just going to call him Armand from now on, as he backhands it around the net. Taken here by UMass Boston, careening this one off the sideboards is Gallagher all the way down into the defensive zone for the Nor'easters. As Tucker Ross finds his defensive line mate Kyle Williams, and this dynamic duo on the blue line moves forward. Beacons have that third line out there, as it's Demchuk, Miller, and McGregor. And here, unable to corral that pass from Gallagher was Mike Miller. It's sent all the way back for Bishop to clean up in his own zone. Miller at his own blue line, starts moving forward. Beacons outnumbered 3-on-4. Mike just decides to fire that one in. And we'll get our first chance to say hi to Connor Maloney, the freshman netminder for the visiting New England Nor'easters and a native of Woburn, Massachusetts.
And this line is going to need to be there today. We saw a lot of speed out of this line with particularly Demchuk and McGregor. You see Miller on the wing there. He had the game-winning goal on a great pass from Kalushi yesterday. This line definitely needs to be in a supporting role to that top line for UMass.
DeTolo with possession, and the Nor'easters move it out. Nice cross-ice feed, able to find number 12, Ben Pearl, as he dumps it all the way in. The Beacons see the Nor'easters chase. That backhanded feed by DeTolo right into the dot on the near side, and a quick blast from Walsh is denied by Faust.
Nice save by Faust. Came out to challenge on that shot. Did a nice job making a blocker save and putting it in the corner.
Saucer feed, a great one-touch pass from Bishop as he finds Miller. Gives Mike a chance, and fighting that one off was Maloney. Rebound by Demchuk, never got towards the net.
Freshman looks shaky, John.
Absolutely. That was an awkward save by Maloney, who, despite a 5-1 record this year, his peripheral numbers are not as strong as the starter Mason Riley. Quick blast from Gannon, that one wide from point-blank range, as I believe Maloney might have got a piece of that one.
I think he did. He's making stops. It's not to say he's totally struggling, but he seems a little bit unsure on some of them.
Early on in this game, both teams applying solid pressure. Here come the Nor'easters trying to storm their way through the neutral ice. Instead, they are stuck back in their own zone, as this is Danny Antonoff with possession. Goes D to D, and then the stretch feed intended for Ryan Quinn is off the mark. Deflected into the Beacon zone, and now Quinn has possession. Quick rising shot, shouldered away by Faust. And a good blast there from the near side dot for Quinn. Beacons in their own zone. That's Zach Lindsay trying to possess, is down in the far side circles. Chukrin, and he's skating slowly.
Chukrin got hit with a high stick. Don't know how the referees missed that. That thing was underneath the cage.
Backhander from right in point-blank range by Tom Gildersleeve, and that one denied by Billy Faust. A hook there on the stick of Drew Gannon, no call, as that was the guilty party of Christian Rossetti. And now the Beacons see Lindsay coming the other way. He's all alone. He'll probably just try to do his way around the defense. He did. Good defensive play made by Tony Crow, the freshman out of Anchorage, Alaska. Near side, moving up the ice, come the Nor'easters. Here's Christian Rossetti, far side, quick blast. That one saved by Faust off the shot from Brady Florent. And with 15:22 to go, it's exactly what we expected. Back and forth, they motor up the ice.
UNE, and this is what I expected, can really, as of right now, is matching the speed of UMass, something that a lot of teams struggle with. They're moving just as quick, and the passing is right on the tape. This UNE team is generating some opportunities, and if UMass is going to turn over the puck, they're going to see rushes coming down on Faust.
Near side, Daly kicks this one towards Larkin. 2-on-2 with Lemire. The two best playmakers on the Beacons, as spinning this one around was Larkin looking for Daly. Mason has to pinch in. He's all the way down the end line. Quick shot on a wraparound, and a good save made there. Lateral movement from Maloney as the net comes off its moorings with 15:04 to go.
Nice play by Mason. Take what the defense gives you, huh, John? I mean, he comes around towards the net. Looked like he was going to tuck that in initially. Saw that there was a gap on the other side of the net. Went for the wraparound and forced Maloney to make a nice save there. Net came off, which created the whistle.
Daly attempting to win that face-off from Nick Totolo. Instead, Totolo wins it into the corner. Beacons kept it in momentarily, but Carter sees this one come all the way down in front of Faust, where Tyler Bishop's able to send it forward for Daly. Nice no-look feed for Larkin, and he sends his centerman screaming up the near side ice. Larkin's quick snapshots knocked down in front by Jackson Tucker, and this one comes to the point for Bishop's big blast that was blocked down in front. I believe Lemire got the brunt of that one, but he's okay.
His shot is so deceptive. I mean, he really doesn't have to put much on it for it to be a heater. You saw there, just kind of off his back foot, let that one ride. That thing was moving.
First Beacons blue liner to 10 goals here this season as it comes all the way down for icing, and the Beacons will get the advantage in the attacking zone.
And this is the line that Coach Blau is trying to get going today. Colucci, DeAugustine, and Santa Paz, three guys that have no problem putting the puck in the net, creating plays. It's just a matter of figuring out the chemistry on this line. Colucci's going to be the center, and he loves drawing this, winning this back to DeAugustine, who lines up pivoted on the top of the circle.
Colucci does win it, but a good play made there by number 14, Joe Admirant, to take control and send it all the way down. And unfortunately for the Nor'easters, just a little too much mustard as deja vu all over again, icing on New England.
And the reason for that is DeAugustine has such a quick release. So Colucci knows, he's been playing with Frankie now for 4 years. He knows if he can get that clean on Frankie's stick, Frankie's going to have a nice time getting that towards the net. Let's see, they're going to switch it up here. DeAugustine's going to go directly behind him, but that's the play every time on these draws.
Colucci ties the face-off man up and allows him to backhand this one towards Crawford, who sends it towards the sideboards. Andrew can't get back as he tumbles down in front of the New England bench, but Chukrin is game to come back in front of Admirand and take control. Gabe sends it forward, kick down to the stick of DeAugustine, and now here's Colucci, 3-on-2. DC Niners blast from the far sides, gloved out of the air like ripened fruit by Maloney. And with 14 exactly on the clock here in the first period, we'll have another face-off to the right of the Nor'easters netminder.
I don't think Colucci wanted to put that as high as he did. I think he was trying to go off pad there. He knew he had Santa Paz coming down the opposite wing, obviously a guy with massive size. I think he was trying to get that off the pad and just got under a little bit as Maloney covers up off the draw, and we see the Beacons run that a lot, especially on a rush, whether it's a 2-on-1, 2-on-2, try to go off pad on the goaltender, get it to come out the other side for a tap-in.
Another face-off here in the attacking zone for the Beacons. Demchuk takes it and wins it. Back to Mason with a quick shot low, and a good save made there by the netminder Maloney as he had to get down quickly. From the red line, good play by Mason to keep that one in neutral ice for as long as he could. Having to kick that one away was Faust as Gallagher is right at home to take possession. Far side here for the Nor'easters. Ben Pearl gets his stick lifted. Good play by the Beacons, and now here's Miller to send it all the way in, sticked away by Maloney. Beacons keep it in there, but they'll have to reset at neutral ice as this one is sent all the way down. It will be icing, and the Beacons will get another offensive zone face-off. So early on here in the first, those stretch passes and outlet feeds are not working for the Nor'easters.
Nor'easters have connected on a couple. I think they're getting greedy now. We saw on one shift they had two that actually connected and equaled rushes. Now I'm starting to see them kind of bank on that as their way out of the zone. It's not going to work. UMass can adjust that fairly easily.
Here's Drew Gannon on the face-off as Drew eventually does lose this one to Ben Pearl. Behind the net, though, good play made by Lindsay, looking for someone in front, no one home. Confers back to our player to watch, Brian Carter. Bishop back to Carter, takes a shot block down in front, getting down Tom Gildersleeve to take the brunt of that deflection. And now here's Gannon trying cross ice, but he got crossed up with Bishop, who was cutting in towards the end boards, and then sent all the way back in by Lindsay as the Beacons are onside. Gannon with possession, fighting for that puck. He's got help from Lindsay, but instead emerging from it there is Dustin Walsh, who sends this one out, and here come the Nor'easters storming in, and a great save by Faust on number 20, Ryan Quinn.
Nice job by Bishop to force him to one side, allow Faust to commit on that save. Nice save by Faust on the breakaway.
One of the defenders tumbled down. It was our player to watch, Brian Carter. He's now off the ice, as that allowed a odd man rush the other way. So now here is Matt Lemire. Almost the first goal of the game, and that would have been a tough one for the Beacons to swallow. No pun intended, as Coach Kevin Swallows and the Nor'easters have put up a good fight here through the first 8 minutes. Meanwhile, the Beacons in the attacking zone, sent in front by Larkin, and getting taken down from behind and still down on the ice Is that Matt Lemire?
Yeah, that's Matt Lemire. We're gonna need a whistle.
That is bad news, as here come the Nor'easters with an opportunity. Florent sends it in front, and eventually it's touched up by Crawford. And Matt Lemire, the Beacons' leader, both on and off the ice, is slow moving, getting up.
Well, it's no secret at this point in the season, not just Lemire, but guys across the board are dealing with these injuries. It just, the sport of the game takes a toll on you. And in speaking with Lemire, you know, he's the type of guy that's going to battle through these sorts of deals. But he took a heavy hit in front of the net there, and he's definitely laboring getting back to the bench.
We'll hope he's okay. Meanwhile, the Beacons will have to win a faceoff in their own zone. It's Colucci, and the Beacons do as Crawford gets possession. Backhanded off the end boards for DeAugustine. His backhand hits the skate of the referee, but that allows Crawford to set up Frankie. Cross ice for the big 6'5" Illinois native Garrison Santapass, who sends it in to be sticked away there by Maloney all the way up into the netting. And the Beacons will get an offensive zone face-off to the Nor'easters netminder's right.
And just to kind of touch on that one more time, you know, going through the sport, going through the season, they only play 25 games, but you factor in, you know, even in practice and stuff, you still get hit. And little by little, they take a toll on you. It really is on the guys to take care of their bodies and have maintenance days, really to keep themselves ready to go come game time.
Billy Faust playing aggressively. Smart play by Billy, although this possibly could result in icing, but a great play by Colucci to get down there first, and that sets up the Beacons potentially, but a great play by the netminder Maloney to siphon it towards neutral ice. Here's Frankie DeAugustine, nice left to right move, sets up Santapass, backhander and through the net mouth, no one home, and with 11:22 to go, this one sent up and towards the blue line, but Mason gloves it down to his stick and then sends it towards the corner. Brett Mason now has possession, centered towards the far side, quick spinorama blast there by DeAugustine is wide. Didn't get enough torque on that one as this one sent towards the net mouth by Santapass. Garrison getting hooked there by a couple of Nor'easters, and then a good hit coming in there by Mason to take Jackson Tucker off the puck and allow Gallagher to motor in. Garrett's got a man in front, it's Santapass, but his blast is deflected high and out of play by Ian Rodden.
That play starts with the hit by Mason at center ice. Saw a player with his head down, and we've seen him. He's got this ability now where he's starting to read plays. We saw a huge hit last night. Actually sent a guy off the ice, but a nice play by Mason at center ice to create that odd man rush down the side, and you saw that dish to Santapass got deflected up into the netting.
There's a big blast there off the face-off win by Miller, keeping it in there, and sending this one towards the net was McGregor looking for a deflection from Demchuk. And we saw Brett Mason actually had a 5-minute major for a hit against Babson a couple of weeks ago, so he certainly knows how to lay the lumber. Beacons seeing him being a little more restrained there, not lighting up the defender, but setting up a good opportunity nonetheless as this one comes back behind the net for Walsh. Nor'easters defender looking for a little assistance in the form of Antonoff, but the Beacons tie his stick up. Antonoff fighting with McGregor and Demchuk as Walsh is on the outside looking in. Now it trickles down towards 4 and blue as he's fighting with Demchuk, and eventually it trickles towards Miller, who backhands it towards Alex behind the net. Demchuk will be the first one to get there near side boards. Backhanded as pinching in is Bishop, who pokes it towards McGregor. It eludes his stick, and David eventually tumbles down into number 12, Ben Pearl. Beacons keeping the possession in the offensive zone for the moment before tumbling down and clearing that one is Danny Antonoff. They call that icing, and for the 4th time in the first 10 minutes and 3 seconds, Beacons beneficiaries of an icing call.
Starting to apply a little bit of pressure here offensively, and then you see 2 shifts started with that secondary line, particularly with Santapass. Then we had the 3rd line with Miller, Demchuk, applying some solid pressure. And now here you're going to have this yellow line out here with Gannon, Lindsay, and Finger on the wing.
Gannon taking the face-off here as he faces off against Ryan Quinn, the starter here for the visiting Nor'easters. Right out in front was Finger, but he couldn't fist that one through the net mouth and through Maloney. Blast from the point from Chukrin, waffle boarded away by number 1 in blue, and that'll allow the Nor'easters to storm forward. Dylan Bankston sends it down, no icing. Chukrin defers to Crawford. Gabe trying to play keep away there from Quinn, and he does for the moment, but pinching in to intercept that one is Gildersleeve. Tom tried to find Quinn with the backhand, and now he does. Ryan Quinn in front, looking for Gildersleeve. It trickles all the way through, past the stick of the defender, Williams, who has to reset in his own zone.
Crawford had 2 opportunities to clear that puck, didn't do so, almost created an opportunity going down on Faust.
Outlet pass here as this one's intercepted on the feed from Gallagher. Moving in with possession is Rossetti, centered in front, looking for Gildersleeve, but a good defensive play made there to lift the stick.
Yeah, good stick there by Finger.
And motoring forward now is Zach Lindsay. Big forward, has plenty of moves as he fires this one high and gloved out of the air by Maloney for a face-off with 8:58 to go.
Maloney seems to have settled in a little bit, and we saw him a little early on, had some trouble with some of these shots, didn't look totally sure as to what he was doing. that being the case, he's had some shots here of late that have really, he's looked solid, seeing the puck well.
He starts 36% of the time for this team, 5-1-1 overall, a .916 save percentage, which coincidentally is identical to senior Mason Riley's save percentage this season, as this one is sent near side. The Florent brothers doing things on their own here, but they turn that one over. Both Trevor and Brady are natives of Biddeford, Maine, so they stayed home to play collegiate hockey, and something tells me UNE is pretty happy about that. Meanwhile, losing his footing here and tumbling down like a tree in the forest is Larkin. He allows Bishop to get possession in neutral ice. Here's Albie Daly and finding Mason. Good news, folks. Matt Lemire's out there.
Yeah, he's battling through something right now. Need to see the Beacons getting these pucks deep, though. They're trying to make plays at the blue line and go cross ice. UNE's canning to it. They got to get pucks in deep.
Lemire finds Larkin as Colin will try to backhand it back for Matt. Instead, it goes to Bishop, deflected by Florent. And now here's Larkin into the attacking zone, finds Daly. Daly looking for a deflection, and Larkin was there, but who else was aimed to game, as it was Larkin who get tumbled into the boards by Florent. Good play by Trevor.
Yeah, Florent with a big hit there on Larkin. He's going to need to get off the ice. Takes another one as he's trying to make a line change, and another one.
My goodness, it's getting feisty out there in the first period of play. The Nor'easters storming here into Beaconville and holding the Beacons off the board through the first 13 minutes. This one dumped all the way in by the captain, Kyle Williams, and the senior out of Bowdoinham, Maine, will result in a face-off.
Rodden and Crow were the two players that were targeting Lemire, or rather Larkin, on his way over to the bench, and he seems to be fine. Nothing, no cause for concern, just again taking a few extra hits. And this faceoff will be at center ice.
Beacons have a definitive size advantage in this game. Nobody on UNE taller than 6'2". Nobody heavier than 215, at least listed. Whatever that means. As this one sent forward for Colucci to take a shot, blocked wide of the net there by Tucker Ross into the corner for Santa Pass. As Garrison uses his size to take Ross into the boards, but it allows a 3-on-3 the other way, as that was a tough pass there from the stick of Armand, as this one results in an offsides coming up here, and we'll get a face-off at neutral ice.
And this is what you see, second half of the season, John. They're really, you look at the standings, they really, besides the fact of where you literally stand, they don't mean much from a team perspective, because teams are playing with each other so long now that they know what to expect on a night in, night out. You see a UNE team that first half of the season was about 500. Second half of the season has gone on an absolute tear.
Yeah, absolutely. They're playing a lot better as of late. We'll see if that continues. Certainly has for the first 13 minutes. This is a pretty even game. Meanwhile, Beacons in their own zone. Gabe Chuckrin, far side for Crawford, and he'll stretch the ice for Santa Pass, who deflects it right into the coaching staff of the Nor'easters. 6:55 to go, first period of play. You are watching the Beacons Broadcasting Network, along with Matt Meisenbacher. I am John Skudras, as the Beacons will send that third line out there, McGregor, Demchuk, and Miller. And McGregor ties up the centerman and wins the face-off for Chuckrin. Tries to just tow this one off the sideboards, and eventually it has to be Miller sending it back for Gabe. By way of Demchuk to sending it all the way in. Maloney settles it down behind the net as McGregor bears down and gets possession. Great play, but his feed towards the point is able to hit Chuckrin. Chuckrin through a wall of players. That one blocked down in front. And that allows the visiting Nor'easters to pound it home. That's Rossetti. Offsides, however, was Dustin Walsh on the far side.
One thing I'm noticing, John, is UMass is doing a decent job getting into the zone. These points are open. It's on the defenseman to get these pucks through. They have to get these pucks through, because I'm seeing a UNE team that can transition very quickly. If those shots get blocked, they're looking to move three forwards down the ice in a hurry.
Freshman Dylan Bankston taking the face-off against McGregor here, as a couple of first-year players on their respective clubs go there. Face-off won by the Beacons. McGregor in their own zone here. Gallagher lets Miller overskate that one. Right in front, great save, Billy Faust. And who else but Brady Florent looking for goal number 10.
Fantastic save by Faust, going laterally, get it with the pad.
Oh my, when you see one of the Florent brothers right in front, that is danger, Will Robinson, but Billy Faust is home to deny.
Nice save, just going laterally. Amazing he was able to find that. He had players in front too.
That is Trevor Florent hitting Brady, and that's brother-on-brother crime right there. A great feed for Brady from Trevor, almost set up a breakaway.
They're going for these deep passes here, John, and UMass is canning to it, but we have seen a few instances where they're almost breaking through. As long as the D-corps is aware that those stretch passes are what they're aiming for, you just got to put a body on them, and that pass becomes increasingly harder. But if that player's open, UNE's trying to hit that pass pretty consistently.
Gannon wins that face-off for this yellow line out there along with Finger and Lindsay. That's not offsides, they say, as the Beacons do touch up. 5:43 to go here in the first period of play. Still no score between the Nor'easters of New England, hailing from Biddeford, Maine, and the Beacons of UMass Boston. Near side, as there's a deflection there. Good play by Bishop on the attempt there by Blaze Healy. And now it's an opportunity for Finger to stretch the ice, looking for Lindsay, couldn't hit him. Almost keeping that one in with the stick was Gannon. Instead, deferring and moving the other way is Healy. Losing sight of that one is Carter. It allows Ryan Quinn to get possession right in front of the Catherine Wall memorial poster. Lindsay gets possession 2-on-2 as coming off the bench and forcing that one near side was one of the Nor'easters as Lindsay loses it in the near side dot. Carter spinorama shot, an easy one for Maloney to cover as we get a whistle with 5:02 to go.
A little bit of a sloppy play here on both ends. I'm seeing both teams that have a lot of speed but just aren't connecting. Doesn't seem to have that crispness we've seen in the past, particularly for UMass, and they've done a decent job here in the first period speed-wise. Like to see them tighten things up passing-wise.
So with the Beacons getting another attacking zone face-up, they'll send out that top line. Lemire, Larkin, and Daly with Chukrin and Crawford on the blue line, as Larkin's able to tie up the man just long enough for Chukrin to poke it to Matt Lemire. He's got a wicked shot, and he takes it right out in front, though. Daly gets popped, and
Absolutely.
That's a penalty coming on up on Armand Umalial, as this one will result in a 2-minute minor on the Nor'easter.
Yeah, Coach Blyle's calling for head contact here, and I would agree with him. I mean, he absolutely went after at least the shoulders and the head area. The refs are going to talk about it, and Daly really, I don't know what Amon was thinking. Daly was already being
He didn't
attacked.
have the puck.
He definitely didn't have the puck, and he was already tied up in front. I mean, that's just a careless penalty. Daly seems to be all right. Obviously a little shaken anytime that happens, but seems like he's just going to get a 2-minute minor here. Could have had more.
Armand is a freshman, so he'll learn from his mistakes over the course of his career for New England, but it sets up the Beacons and their extraordinary 26% power play. Here's Bishop looking for goal number 11, deflected in front by Santa Pass and then off the post.
Tell you what, Bishop, nice delay there. Let the blocker go through and then fire it. That was off the pipe.
Lemire in the corner, sends it to the point for Bishop. Bishop's got Larkin with him. There he is. Larkin down low for Frankie with Santa Pass in front. Frankie got a little greedy there looking for Garrison. Didn't get there, but good help play made there by the Illinois native. Backhanded feed by Lemire is intercepted. Good play made by Rossetti, who sends it all the way down.
Yeah, D'Augustine just trying to float a pass in there to Santa Pass. Wasn't able to do so, and UNE sends it down the other end.
Near side, Larkin streaking up the ice. Nice move to get around the defender. Back in and in front through the net mouth, but no one home. And Lemire will get things going with 1:15 to go in the 2-minute minor. Matt pulls it back, takes the shot, eats Maloney alive. Rebound in front, a great play made by Tony Crow to clear it.
Nice job by Crow to get that puck out. It was bouncing right in the crease area with a gaping hole. Maloney had already committed to the initial shot, and a nice job by Crow to get that puck out of there.
The native of Alaska had ice in his veins on that one as he sends it out of harm's way with 53 seconds to go. Albie Daly, no rest for the weary after taking that dirty hit moments ago, drawing the penalty as he tries to backhand this one towards the point. Fighting for possession was Colucci, but instead it comes and eludes Miller's stick towards the red line. Chukrin deflected by Daly. As you see, Colucci almost tough to see here on the near side. For a moment, I was like, the Beacons only have 4 guys out there, but it's just DC Niner hiding from the defenders. As here's Miller trying to center this one towards Daly, and this second power play unit can't get anything set up.
Got to get the puck deep. I don't know why they get away from that. They generally have their most success when they get the puck deep and try to work out of the corner. When they start making plays at the blue line top of the circle is when they create these turnovers. You see it there again.
Blaze Healy picking Colucci's pocket, but a little help from Miller. He's got Carter if he wants him, he does, but Carter couldn't pull the trigger on the one-timer, and now Carter tries to send it back to Miller. He does. Power play is over in 1 second, and now it is officially over as the shot is off the post. Carter blasted that one, and our player to watch almost made us prophetic. However, it hits the near side post and then is covered by the netminder, Maloney.
Well, it's funny. He's a freshman. He had Miller, the senior, who had his stick up in the air begging for a one-timer, and he looked off the senior. Anytime you do that, obviously, you got to make sure that it's not for fail, and gets the shot through past Maloney off the pipe. That had a chance at going in.
Still a nice shot by Carter. Was looking for his second goal in as many days as this one's backhanded in there by Gannon. He cannot keep it in the attacking zone. Delayed offsides. Now touching up is Finger, and the Beacons can reset. 2:33 to go here in the first period of play. Another long stretch outlet pass is intercepted by Mason, who finds Gallagher and goes right back to his blue line partner in crime. But Mason can't settle the puck down, and here's Rossetti. Rossetti takes a shot. Nice block there by Gallagher, putting himself and his team over his best intentions. Meanwhile, Lindsay's shot denied by the glove, and a nice save down low. That's not an easy save for Maloney.
Yeah, we'll start down the other end. You mentioned a great block there by Gallagher on that rush. A turnover by Mason. Those are going to be very costly today. This team transitions so well from defense to offense. And down the other end, Lindsay with a nice little curl and drag for a shot on goal. And Maloney, who got it with the glove for a face-off in zone.
Lemire wins the face-off. Carter to Bishop. Back to Bryant Carter. It takes another shot. Nothing on that one as it's blocked down by Floret. Moved forward for Trevor from Brady, but he misses that pass. It comes all the way back behind for the captain, Kyle Williams, who finds his defensive line mate, freshman Tucker Ross, an Ashburn, Virginia native. Williams tries to send it back, but only white jerseys were waiting, and now the Beacons 3-on-3 the other way. Great feed from Daly for Larkin, whiffed on that shot mostly. It allows Daly to pick that one down low, but instead it's deflected off of the feed from Daly towards Bishop and over his head, and the Beacons will reconvene at neutral ice. Lemire can't settle it down at first effort, then lost it again as this ice is getting a little choppy here late in the first period. Just a minute and a half to go in period number one as Beacons are offside, so dumping that one in and going for a line change is UMass Boston. Sending it off the near side boards was Admirand. Able to take control is Chukrin. He was looking for Santapass, but it's deflected by Admirand back towards the Beacon zone. D-to-D feed from Chukrin to Bishop, who's still out there. Tyler turns it over, and then this careens off the side glass and almost set up a great chance from the slot. Instead, here's Gabe Chukrin all the way in. Beacons onside, finding Santapass. It trickles right towards the slot. We're pinching in is Crawford. 1 minute to go in the first. Setting up DeAugustine was Santapass. He got nothing on that pass, though, and it allows a clearing. No icing coming up as Crawford gets control.
UNE keeping it tight in the D zone. UMass has to start taking it to the net.
DeAugustine's shot's kicked away with the right leg there by Maloney as Crawford pinches in to send it back behind the net. Good poke check made there by Ross to keep it away from the forward DeAugustine as taking the body there with Santapass. Good poke check in neutral ice by DeAugustine as streaking down ice was Blaze Healy. And now Ross back behind the net to take control. And
Belushi with a huge hit behind.
Absolutely, and Demchuk was looking to make another one, but a good play to dump it all the way in, no icing. Just 17 seconds left in period one as Gallagher fists it towards the Beacons forwards as Demchuk gets possession from Colucci. Bad turnover by Demchuk. Healy in front. Backhander poked away by Billy Faust. Great play by 30 and White. UMass Boston, that was sloppy and almost resulted in a really, really bad goal late in the first period.
And I'll tell you what, that's not the only one. You know, Demchuk had one there at the end of the period, and we've seen at least two or three that I can remember. You know, the two worst spots to turn over the puck are at your own blue line and at the opposing blue line. And you saw Demchuk there at the end of the period. A bad pass came down on Faust. He was able to poke check the puck away. But overall, a pretty solid period. Can't really complain on both ends. I think both sides can tighten it up a little bit in all aspects of the game. But the speed is there. The aggression is there. Just need to make some edits. And we saw both goaltenders come away with some big stops in the period to keep it scoreless. Offensively, I saw UMass at the end of that period, after the power play, they weren't able to score, but did a nice job sustaining pressure. So we'll see what we get in the second period, but right now we're going to send it down to Steve Witakowski, who's got Coach Blyle after the first period.
Coach, how does splitting time with your two goalies kind of keep them fresh, especially going into later in the season like games like today?
No, it's big. Hopefully, you know, Billy had a good period there, and, you know, he's focused, and that was our game plan, you know, have them each focus on one game this weekend.
Now, Coach, kind of an even period there. How do you get the upper hand in the second period to set you up for a win today?
I think we need to get more second chances. I thought we had some, you know, a lot of shots, but we're not generating that second chance, so that's going to be big. We got to get to that second opportunity.
Thank you, Coach. Back to the booth.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Coach. And right now, we're going to take you to the top 16 plays of the winter season. Some highlights from not just hockey, but athletics across the board. We're going to show you those highlights now here on the BBN.
Greeting, Earthlings. We have now taken over your radio. First time, Gary to the rim. Second effort. She's got it. Hit 'em high, hit 'em high, hit 'em high. Can you hit 'em low, hit 'em low, hit 'em
Going
low.
straight to the hole. You ain't got no game. I'm breaking you out the frame, coming through like a train. Looking to take over the whole world is my goal. With my
mission. Step by step, I'm closing in a no position. And instruction is my mission. No, 8 is not enough, the whole squad better duck. It's like switch when I bust, now your whole crew is dust. Coming through my area, I'ma have to bury ya. The real screen team on your screen scene. It's like showdown in the ring. Go tell me who won the tangle with together, which got the neighborhood superhero.
On and on, unstoppable, we run the floor. You can't get none of this hardcore. In the game, we take you on. You can see nothing like this before.
Hit 'em high, hit 'em high, hit 'em high. How do you hit 'em low, hit 'em low, hit 'em low? If I hit 'em high, hit 'em high, hit 'em high. How do you hit 'em low, hit 'em low, hit 'em low?
Same like a runaway train, I'm in your lane like it's only 3 seconds to score to win the game. Came to bring the ultimate pain up on the brain, untamed. You don't like it when I change into a type strange. Make low maniacal, monster in the game. And I got my eye on you, dead shot aim. As free throws keep coming down like rain. You feeling me, I'm feeling you, the monster game. I'm telling you, pass me the rock, now I'm headed to the basket. Get up on my way, get what you better do. My tactics is unsportsmanlike conduct, you better ask it. Don't get no better than this. You catch my drip, you get stripped like raw hell rule by swag hammer. Danger, you dealing with official hoop bender. With hang time, like a coat hanger. Jump with thunderous 360-degree tight jumps. What up, Dr. Monster Funk? Lightning strikes, the court lights get dim. Supreme competition is about to begin. Above the rim, finessing it moves is animated. So once I get the ball in, I can't be deflated. A rugged ball, my monsters is getting money. With clicks, get the bugging. I'm snatching up their bunnies. Every step I take shakes the ground. I make you break your ankle, son, shake you down. This is my planet, I'm about business. The best that ever done it. Can I get a witness? A cumulus cloud bring darkness up above.
Step back, 3 for the Tigers. Welcome back into the broadcasting booth. Matt Meisenbacher will be back with you in a bit. I am John Skudras. No score after 20 minutes of play between the Nor'easters of New England and the University of Massachusetts Boston Beacons. Beacons, however, outgunning the Nor'easters precipitously, 19-6 in shots, as we get a chance to look at the first period intermission statistics in a moment. Those statistics, as always, are going to subtly favor the Beacons, as UMass Boston out in front in shots 19-6. They did have one power play, 0 for 1 on that man advantage with 3 shots on goal. And we'll see what they can do the rest of the way in this one as they take on a goaltender, Connor Maloney, who has stopped his first 19 shots he's faced. This comes on the heels of a tough game yesterday against Babson in which they lost 4-3. There you see the first period statistics, 19-6 in shots on goal for UMass Boston out in front. They also dominated in the faceoff dot. 19 out of the 25 were won by the Beacons. I mentioned the power play, just the one on the 2-minute minor to Armand Umolio for charging. That was the call on the hit on Daly. But it was Billy Faust not having to do a whole lot in that first period, stopping just 6 shots. For the Beacons, led in shots by Mike Miller with 3. Zach Lindsay, Brian Carter, and Brett Mason, along with Garrison Santapass, also had 2. For the Nor'easters, they were led by Brady Florent, who had 2 shots on goal, including a nifty breakaway midway through that first period of play. Let's take a look at the New England Hockey Conference out-of-town scoreboard. As always, the NEHC out-of-town scoreboard is brought to you by Kaler Sales, LLC, a family business focused on bringing you the best prices on all your logging equipment. Kaler Sales, LLC. After one period of play, the Babson Beavers, well, they're on the right track. If they hope to catch the heels of the UMass Boston Beacons, they lead Southern Maine 2-0. That's a tough little weekend for Southern Maine. You take on the number 1 team in your conference, then you take on the number 2 team. It's not looking good for them after 20 minutes of play. Meanwhile, the Spartans of Castleton are out in front of the Purple Knights of St. Michael's after 1-0. And we do not yet have score updates on Norwich and Skidmore or the St. Anselm Hawks and New England College this afternoon. Looking around Beaconville, obviously the women's hockey match earlier today was a great one. Norwich won 1-0 on an early goal for the Cadets in the first period that they held on to triumph over Lindsey Berman's Beacons. And then the basketball teams, both in action at Keene State. The women's team getting pounded 75-59 by the Owls. The men right now not doing much better. 35-20 they trail at halftime as both the men's and women's basketball teams are shooting up air balls against the Owls of Keene State. Well, while we have a chance to take a look at some of the women's hockey action, I mentioned they lost 1-0 this afternoon against Norwich, but it wasn't a weekend devoid of excitement for Lindsey Bourbon's club. Last night, they shut out Manhattanville behind Rachel Mayette and Alex Carlis, who had 3 points and 2 goals. A 5-0 victory. Let's look at highlights of that right here on the Intermission Report on the Beacons Broadcasting Network. Welcome back into the broadcasting booth here in the first intermission as the Beacons tied right now 0-0. Let's take a look ahead at what's coming up for UMass Boston here in the upcoming schedule. As you see, next week, a couple of tough matchups at St. Michael's. That's not really a difficult one, but then at Norwich, the number 13 team in the country. The Cadets women already took care of business today. We'll see if the Beacons men can get revenge on the Cadets up there in Vermont against Norwich. It'll be an exciting weekend of hockey, both on the road before they reconvene here on the Beacons Broadcasting Network against New England College at 7 on Friday, February 12th. Well, that gives us an opportunity now to look at the highlights of that first period. No goals, but still a lot of action as we look at those highlights on the Beacons Broadcasting Network. And Matt Meisenbacher, as you rejoin me here in the broadcasting booth, you're going to see a lot of spectacular saves from Billy Faust, but also some great maneuvers from his opposition, Connor Maloney.
Yeah, as you run through here, just a lot of good goaltending for this first period, and we'll run through some of these highlights you see on both ends, whether it's Faust or Maloney. Here's that nice move. You see Bishop angling him on that one side. A good stop by Faust there to get down there in a hurry. Make a nice save. Again, coming down. You see these D getting caught, and UNE's fast. Faust is going to make that play and send that all the way down. Colucci ends up beating it out for the icing. UMass comes in, and this is a nice stop here by Maloney on Santa Pass. May have been deflected. I think it was off the stick before it got to Maloney. We'll see here another nice stop by Faust in front and backdoor. That was that lateral save. The first one was tough enough, and then to come across the crease like that to make a lateral save was even better. Here's UMass's shot by Lemire here. He's going to fire that, and a nice save by Maloney. That puck was loose, and that was that clear by Crow. We talked about, John, how imperative that was to keep it scoreless. And then we'll see here coming across the ice. See, this is the one. He looks off Miller there, gets that through. That's off the post. Had Maloney beat, just wasn't able to get it past the goal line. And then finally at the period here, you see that bad turnover by Demchuk coming in on Faust, who was able to poke that puck away into the corner. So some good goaltending that period. And we see two teams that have had their chances, just haven't been able to capitalize.
Yeah, definitely. UMass Boston in this game outshooting UNE 19-6. And while it certainly looked like that with the power play obviously aiding it with 3 shots, Connor Maloney has been absolutely outstanding. 19 shots, 19 saves. Billy's been good in his own end as well, but Maloney has been pressured a lot more.
And the thing, coming in, we said it last game, coming into playing UMass at their home rink, you know what you're going to be challenged with as a goaltender. You're going to face a lot of shots, they're going to get to you, and you're probably going to have to come up with a handful of killer saves in order to get a W. We saw there, 19 shots in 1 period. A lot of teams, that's a 2-period, sometimes even a 3-period total, depending on how the game flow goes. 19-6 in shots total. So you're going to see a lot of rubber, and hopefully you're up for the task from a goaltending standpoint.
Absolutely. We'll see what lies ahead over the next 40 minutes. In the last 4 periods, so in the last 80 minutes, the Beacons averaging over a shot per minute. 87 shots with 58 yesterday, 19 today. Interesting stuff coming up from the UMass Boston Beacons. We're going to go to a commercial break. When we come back, we'll have that second period face-off. Exciting stuff up ahead right here on the Beacons Broadcasting Network.
2-2 pitch swung on and missed.
Kyle Strowski from Agawam, Massachusetts. I'm a senior here at UMass Boston. I'm a marketing major. Probably have to say my favorite moment was my no-hitter my freshman year. Being a freshman, especially just making a statement right away. Seeing the reactions on the seniors' faces. It was something that was a lot of fun to be a part of. If you want to play and you want to compete for championship every year, definitely UMass Boston is a good place to come look at.
And now this one's launched right center field. That's going to win the game for the Beacons. It is down.
LEC is probably best division in college D3 baseball in the country. Play against the top competition every year. I think we have a top 10 schedule in the country this year. So we're young, but we also mix in with a good group of junior college transfers. Being on the baseball team here at UMass is a good experience, great experience. Only about 2% of people can play college baseball, and one that I'll take for me for the rest of my life.
Kyle Fields fires the first great scoop from Jason Cholin.
The Beacons are on the ice, led by Billy Faust. They'll switch sides. Beacons will go right to left this period. The Nor'easters also at the rear coming on in, moving left to right. Before we get underway and discuss the keys to the second period, a reminder that Tom Faust ENT wishes Billy Faust and the Beacons good luck from the Faust family in California. Well, so far Billy hasn't needed the good luck. Only 6 shots on goal. He's looked good. The luck has been on Connor Maloney's side. He's had 19 shots, 19 saves. What do the Beacons have to do to break through on the freshman netminder here in the second?
Both goaltenders seem like big blocks of ice, just standing square to the puck rather, and maintain that cool, calm composure throughout the first period. Now, on either end, they're going to get their opportunities. We see two teams that have the offensive capability. You saw the pregame stats. UNE averaging close to 3.5 goals per game. UMass Boston close to 4.5. So teams that know how to put the puck in the net, and it'll be interesting to see the minor edits they've made in between periods to generate some more of those opportunities.
UNE is third in the NHC in scoring offense. Beacons obviously lead that category. So both of these teams can score, but so far stymied by the netminders as the Beacons and the Nor'easters get set for the second period. Ben Pearl against Colucci. Colucci wins the face-off back to Carter, who goes to Bishop, and then Bishop gets his intercepted pass and neutralized by Pearl. And now Tyler finds DeAugustine, who can't settle it down. Pearl sends it back in, delayed offsides. They do get onside, and Bishop now defers down low as he will send this one cross ice for Santapass, who gets it towards the red line at the very least. Intercepted by Colucci, who can't settle it down, overskates the puck. Colucci out-muscled there by Tucker Ross, and then pinching in now with possession momentarily was Ryan Quinn. Carter rides him into the boards. Colucci also down there as well as Pearl. And number 12 in blue, Pearl, fists this one backhanded, but taken by Colucci. Aggressive forecheck and a very aggressive play made there by number 20, Ryan Quinn, but instead here come the Beacons. DeAugustine, he's got Santapass in front, but unable to get it there as Kyle Williams knocks it down. And now Ross has possession. Cross-ice feed towards Ross from number 21, Trevor Florent. With possession, here's Ryan Quinn. Quinn trying to send it towards Ross, but it's fisted towards the near side corner. Florent pinches in to send it around the end boards for Brady Florent. Set up on a tee for a blast there from DiTallo, but it's taken by DeAugustine near side for the forward. That is Santapass, who sends it in to be denied by Maloney. Behind the net, right in front from Larkin for Daly, but it's deflected wide towards the blue line. Backhanded by Chukrin by way of Crawford. Larkin can't get there. Sanapass slow getting off the ice. He's replaced by Lemire. Matt comes screaming in, and he ends up taking the brunt of the hit there on Tony Crow. And now here's Brady Florent finding Trevor in front, but he whiffs on that shot from the slot. And now in the corner, gets his pocket picked and poked away there on a good play by Chukrin to allow Lemire to move forward with Albie Daly. Daly takes the shot as he had Larkin screaming towards the crease, denied by Maloney. Lemire pinching down, getting a little help from Daly, who fists this one towards the far side corner for Larkin. Larkin's spinorama shot is denied and blocked in towards the netting, and with 18:05 to go, the exciting second period begins with a flash.
Maloney, the freshman goaltender, is really doing a lot trusting his D, and you saw Daly on that rush, that 3-on-2 there, was really looking for the pass option. I watched Maloney stay square to the shooter the whole time, trusting that his D had the coverage, and he was taking the shot all the way, and made a nice stop on Daly on that rush, that 3-on-2.
Coach Bilal kept that top line out there as now Mason sees this one swatted in the air as the Beacons get a whistle coming up. Perhaps a hand pass.
But this top line just moves so fast. I mean, especially in transition, all three of these players really could be playing Division I hockey, and they play like it. They move so quick in transition, continue to move their feet throughout, and once they break the zone, it's 1 or 2 passes and a shot on goal.
Beacon's top line stays out there as this one comes all the way back down to the right of Billy Faust. Larkin taking the face-off here against Antonoff, and Colin wins it into the corner where Garrett Gallagher is home to take possession, uses his body to shield the puck, tries to get it out of harm's way, but can't. Great left to right move to keep it in there from Antonoff, and after losing the face-off, a great play there by Danny to keep this possession going. Sending it around was Admiran, but he gets his pocket pick. Daly near side for Lemire. Lemire sees Mason pinching in. Instead, he takes a shot. Good block down in front. Rebound in the crease. Wide open. Mason shot with nobody seeing that one, but somehow he made the save.
I have no idea what that went off. Once I saw Mason with that puck, I thought that was going to be a goal for sure. Went off something.
Now here is Brett Mason with possession. Tries to stretch it all the way down. Tipped by Lemire. They say it wasn't actually. And they will get an icing here. And Matt Lemire, who's been out there now for over a minute, has to stay out there to the right of Billy Faust.
Yeah, these guys are going to be tired on that icing. Going to have to take their time getting back a little bit. But, John, part of what UMass does so well is continue to come in waves. Even though it's scoreless so far, they really don't change the game plan very much. They're going to continue to come in droves offensively, continue to pound shots on net, knowing that eventually the odds are in their favor to put a couple home.
With this tired line, Coach Swallows, as you see Larkin getting tossed from the faceoff dot, sends out the Florent and Bankston line. This is their top scoring line. Leads the team in every offensive category. For the Nor'easters, is unable to keep that one in, was Brady Florent. The freshman from Biddeford, Maine, a local boy making good, as this is Carter trying to get this one out of the zone. Nice pass for Miller. Didn't even see him there. And now Miller drops it for Larkin. They may be tired, but they still got speed to burn. Quick shot save made. Waffle boarded away there by the netminder Maloney.
Good blocker save and shot it out the other end. That thing was coming off the blade hot, came just as hot off the blocker.
Tucker Ross with possession as he tries to send this one forward for Bankston. Bankston sees this one deflected off of Brady Florent. Good play defensively by Carter. And the forecheck and interception. Great move by Miller, but the backhander is sticked away there by Maloney.
Good read by Demchuk to get some stick on that, caused the turnover.
Great move by both Demchuk and Miller as now McGregor trying to pinch in, and that's going to result in a penalty. Almost a bad break there for McGregor as the defender, that was Bankston, tumbled down, and that allows the Florent to come on in. That's Brady. Tries to center it, but a great stick for Bishop. Deflects it towards the blue line. Coach Belial wondering how that's not a whistle, and now he gets it with 16:09 to go. So
Tyler
Bishop
Bishop
shorthanded.
Tyler Bishop might have just saved a goal there. I mean, he was down and he was totally committed to that pass, and once Florent didn't commit to it initially, he had one last move to fling his stick out there a little bit, deflected that puck, not allowing the backdoor play. But you said it, John, because of the penalty, it's unfortunate to McGregor. It seemed like he was almost turning as he was making that hit, which made it seem a little worse than it actually was, and that drew the penalty. The referee was right there.
Absolutely. Tough break for the Beacons and McGregor, but the Beacons will be shorthanded for 2 minutes. First power play of the game for the Nor'easters as they'll try to rain on the Beacons' parade. Here from the point is Rodden. Rodden to the far side for Quinn. Quinn takes the shot, blocked down in front. Good play made, and getting beaten up there was Gallagher as it's cleared by Daly.
And you know what I love to see there? He blocks the shot with his arm. That definitely is hurting right now. And what does he do? He busts his rump, getting to the bench, and that's something you see from these freshmen. They love playing this game, and He's keeled over on the bench. That definitely hurt him.
Antonov backhands this one in. Chasing after this one is Blaze Healy. Healy allows this one to go to Antonov, but a good play made by Crawford to get it to Chukrin. Gabe using his wheels to evade a couple of defenders. Too quick for even me to say, as that one's dumped all the way down.
And that's what you like to see. 200 feet. Every time you get possession of that puck on the penalty kill, send that thing all the way down.
Chasing after this one, Chukrin, and Florent didn't like the call, but the Beacons get the benefit of an icing right there. Looked like Brady beat him down.
Yeah, in order to have an unbiased broadcast, we got to give it to UNE when they do something well. Seemed like they might have had that icing beat, but regardless, referees didn't think so. It's going to come down. And an offensive draw shorthanded here for UMass. Be interesting to see if they win it, what they do with the puck.
Finger and Larkin, or rather Finger and Gannon are the forwards. The defenders, Bishop and Chukrin. Now the faceoff was won by UNE, and they'll move forward with possession. Banks in near side, finds Brady Florent. He's got Trevor in front, just wide of the net as he beat Faust far side.
That puck had Faust beat, just missed the net. A nice pass by the Florent brothers.
Oh my, that's what you see, that chemistry that they have, as this one's cleared all the way down.
That was the best chance I think UNE's had so far, not just on this power play, but potentially in the game going back to the first period. Maybe that save Faust had laterally might have been the only thing to top that chance.
Tom Gildersleeve with possession as he's getting jockeyed into the boards there. Gets it back to the point, evading Gallagher. This one back behind as Gallagher sees it tip the skate of the referee. We've seen that a lot today in both games as Gallagher gets back into position to block that shot.
Nice block there by Gallagher. He's playing well right now.
Yeah, it was an absolutely good play there by Gallagher. Instead, an opportunity to send it to the point, and then whiffing on the shot was Ross. That was ugly. And then gets a second chance opportunity, blocked down by Finger, and that sets up Gannon the other way, 1-on-2. Gannon's got wheels to burn, as Matt said, but a good play and a recovery by Ross, and then right off the face mask, he takes a blast from Albie Daly.
Maloney cannot hear anything, I guarantee you right now.
Gannon shot, that one blocked down in front and cleared. The power play is over, as you saw, as Gallagher comes all the way down to take possession. Beacons kill off their first penalty kill of the day, right in front for Lemire. Shot saved by Maloney. What a great save by the freshman in blue.
He looks good, John. He's making some big saves here.
And now here come the visitors the other way. The Nor'easters looking to get on the board first as this game continues back and forth. Here's Jackson Tucker all the way around the horn. Save, rebound deflected off of Mason's skate. That one saved a goal.
I'll tell you what, this is jam-packed with action right now, this transition hockey we're seeing.
Here's Ben Pearl, centered in front for Tucker. Saved by Faust as Tucker saw it deflected away from him by Matt Lemire. An aggressive play after the whistle.
This game, the fact that it's still scoreless is a tribute to the goaltending we're seeing here. Freshman versus senior. It started with Maloney down the other end, who's playing extremely aggressive. Very rarely do I see him in the paint. He is at the top of his crease on almost all these saves. And then coming down the other end, the senior Faust with just always maintains that calm collectedness in the net. That's what you really like to see. It's one of his best attributes. Was able to make that save in front and then cover up for no second chance as it was dwindling at the top of the crease. But the fact that it's scoreless here, John, is pretty amazing. Both teams have had their chances.
Beacons win the face-off. Carter finds Bishop. DeAugustine gets it poked away. Nor'easters putting up a heck of a fight today. They are doing everything you have to do to beat the UMass Boston Beacons. And so far, 0-0 on the scoreboard as Santa Pass dumps this one in. DeAugustine chases as it careens around the end boards. Santa Pass down there. Good play made by Crow to fist it around to the near side. Good move there by Antonov to keep it in the zone as long as he could. But then this one sent back behind the net for Santa Pass. Santa Pass using that size to evade Ross. Eventually, though, he's taken out by a couple of Nor'easters. Gets some help from Colucci, but poked away by Ross, and now moving the other way come the visiting Nor'easters. Bad backhand feed there. Turning it over was Armand. And now a breakaway for Colucci. Great move, and he lost control. Never got the backhander off the stick.
They had him beat.
Bishop's blast, that blocked down in front. He's going to feel that tomorrow. As tumbling down like a tree in the forest was Joe Admiran. Meanwhile, Colucci behind the net with 12:20 to go. Trickles out into the net mouth. DeAugustine can't get a shot away, and eventually it's cleared by Blaze Healy.
If UMass can transition this quickly, they can catch UNE on a change.
Backhand pass finds DeAugustine 2-on-1 with Demchuk. Frankie takes a shot, waffle boarded away by the netminder Maloney.
Another great save from Maloney.
And a cross-ice pass, big blast, blocked down, and a great play by Florent on that one, who does it not only offensively but defensively as well.
Outstanding block by Florent. Total commitment to blocking that shot, and Crawford, who's got a real heavy slap shot, was trying to jam that home. What a block.
Now here come the Florent Bloods the other way, but a good play by Crawford to get it out of harm's way. Demchuk coming down. He's got Miller. Takes the shot. Save. Rebound. Miller. What a save. No, they score! On the rebound, Mike Miller. What an effort by Maloney, but the Beacons are on the board as number 17 in white has tallied for Mike Miller. It's goal number 9 on the season, and the Rentham native gives the Beacons a 1-0 lead.
Finally, John. Finally, I see the far pad shot. You see Demchuk there, and it's not a hard shot. You just kind of float it in a little bit. You put a little bit on it, forcing the goaltender to make a save. He was able to kick that puck out right on Miller's tape, and Miller almost missed it. That puck was floating a little bit. It looked like Maloney almost made that stop. Regardless, though, it's in the back of the net for a 1-0 lead.
That was almost an incredible diving stick save by Connor Maloney, but just enough of it did Miller get to get that one through, and UMass Boston takes the lead. Now the yellow line looking for more. I like this idea by Bilal to send this yellow line out there. The energy line, why not keep it going?
Got to follow up with the shift after here. You got him on the ropes right now with this 1-0 lead. Love to follow it up with another.
Crawford saucers that one towards Lindsay, but unable to get there with Zach. Crawford keeps it in, sends it off the end boards where it careens towards Zach Lindsay. Tries to spin this one towards Gannon. Gannon is there, had finger down low, but couldn't get it to him. As Lindsay will try to lift the stick of the forward, but instead it's cleared towards neutral ice. Chukrin sends it back in before the Beacons get a defensive line change. In fact, it'll be a forward line change as well as Lemire comes on the ice. Matt trying to use that strength and speed to get around the defender. He did momentarily, but Bankston's able to get it towards the near side or the far side boards. Good check made there by UMass Boston, and eventually it comes down low for Lemire.
Solid hit by Gallagher on the wall there to keep that puck in. UMass still with pressure.
Mason shot deflected, rebound in front, but too many blue jerseys for Lemire to get any type of good shot on it. Meanwhile, pinching in is Mason. He's very adept offensively and defensively, as Mason had control momentarily, losing sight of it Maloney as he tried to move laterally to his right when the puck was on the far side. Meanwhile, here is Larkin fresh on the ice, near side for Mason. Beacons have all the momentum after that goal. Here's a chance for Gallagher, tees it up. This isn't a power play, folks, and that one is not going to help as Gallagher just loses possession.
Yeah, just trying to do too much. He double clutched and then lost the puck, and it's unfortunate. UMass had, I think that was their third shift in the offensive zone, had some serious pressure going. We're going to get called here for an icing. I guess they must have whistled it just as Faust was coming out of his crease, because obviously if the goaltender plays that puck, it gets negated, but going to get called for an icing.
The UNE coaching staff is absolutely furious. It was tipped at the red line. You saw a UNE player and a Beacons player right there, and I think that's their argument, that or what you said about Billy Faust coming out of his crease.
And they have a case. I would agree. They have a case. Faust was going to play the puck, or like you said, if they make contact, there's definitely something to be said, and no problem getting the ref over there. And
well, the referee that he was berating was Terry Ober, the lead ref, and you're not going to get too many calls the rest of the way by humiliating the refs in front of the crowd and in front of all the players.
You're 100% right, and you see Coach Blyle in his spiffy pink tonight for pink in the rink. And they are going to, so see, look at the benefit of having a conversation with the refs. You see the benefit. They're going to move it to center ice, essentially saying, hey, you're right. We're going to move that puck out, not have it be in the offensive zone. But something I was going to say is Coach Blyle, again in his spiffy pink for tonight, something he's definitely done a little bit less of late. Earlier in my career, he was all over the refs, and now you see him tries to lay off a little bit. You know, he still gets his points in there, but doesn't harass like he used to.
No, now he just paces back and forth on the bench like a madman.
We see that from time to time.
Is sent all the way down. Santa Pass chases. We are beyond the halfway point of this game. Beacons just taking the 1-0 lead on the 9th of the year from Mike Miller. Fighting for this one is DeAugustine and Santa Pass, two of the better offensive players for UMass Boston, keeping this one in. Carter sends it on the corner boards, trickles down low for Santa Pass, who uses his body to take one of the Nor'easters into the wall. Sending this one up for a chance for Bishop to blast this one. Great save made with the blocker by the netminder Connor Maloney. As there was an aggressive slash there, no call. As tumbling down was Jackson Tucker, as Colucci getting fiery with the stick. And this one centered in front, unable to settle it down, Brady Florent. Santa Pass unable to get there in front of the diminutive Dustin Walsh, who sits almost a full foot below the 6'5" forward Santa Pass. And now here's Brady Florent, centers it in front, and we're going to have a penalty coming on up. We'll see what the call is with 9:01 to go.
I think they're going to get called for too many, because I saw the players, let's see here, couldn't see the call from the referee. He's got his back to us. But, yeah, I think it's going to get too many men. And the reason I'm saying that is you can see by the reaction of the players on the ice. Tyler Bishop actually stopped playing, threw his hands up in the air to say, hey, we got too many guys out here from a UNE perspective. Refs are on top of it, and we're going to have a power play for the Beacons here already with a 1-0 lead, 9:01 left in the second period.
Sophomore Christian Rossetti from Marblehead will serve this bench minor, and the Beacons will have a 2-minute minor for too many men. Beacons win the face-off. Chuckrid goes to Carter, deflected down. Miller loses it as this one comes all the way down. Chuckrid's got to use his wheels to beat Ryan Quinn as the top-line centerman for these visiting Nor'easters almost got down there in front.
And I'll tell you what, something new I'm seeing UNE doing is starting to pressure these points. They're well aware, especially at Tyler Bishop. If that puck comes out to the blue line, look for them to move on that.
Oh, Daly couldn't settle it down with the backhand. Good play swatted it out of thin air for Brian Carter, but nonetheless it doesn't work as it's sent all the way down on a good play made there by Blaze Healy. And the Beacons, already with 35 seconds gone on this power play, have to reconvene. Here's Mike Miller getting around the defense, going all the way in. Backhand feed for Carter. Stretch pass far side intended for Daly. No one home. Colucci gets his pocket picked and an easy clear there by Armand. Here is Carter as they try to start again. Onside are the Beacons. Carter from the point, far side, taking the D-to-D feed from Chuckrin. That blast right in front. Rebound. Great save made by Maloney on Albie Daly from the net mouth scramble.
I'll tell you what a save by Maloney. He had Albie Daly right on his doorstep. Albie was trying to chip that glove side high. Wasn't able to do so. Maloney with a great stop. And I'll tell you what, Albie Daly just refuses to say no. In front of the net, taking so much damage. These guys are all over him. They see him wearing the C. It's even more emphasis that they want to take him down, and took a big hit there at the end of the play. He's fine. Finds himself on the bench as the first unit out on the power play with a minute to go here on that power play.
Minute to go on the minor, 8 minutes to go in the second period. 1-0 UMass Boston on the 9th of the year from Mike Miller here in the second frame. Larkin teased this one up, kicked away there by Maloney as Colin put all of his muscle behind that one, and now he'll have to come back into his own zone to take possession here. 44 seconds left as the top line, as Matt said, is out there. Larkin stretch feed right in front, and Bishop had the puck on his stick but couldn't tuck it home.
Just missed it.
Here is Lemire from the point as he sets up this offense. Now he'll fake the shot, hesitate, near side dot for Bishop. Tyler waiting to find the open man down low. Frankie DeAugustine, the team leader in goals, goes back to Bishop. Shot save, rebound DeAugustine off the first chance from Santa Pass, couldn't get it. Larkin whiffed on a shot. Great chance for Lemire. Rebound, they score! As that one is Garrison Santa Pass tallying home for the freshman from Northbrook, Illinois, his 9th of the year, evening it up again with Mike Miller. It's 2-0 UMass Boston.
This power play is fun to watch. When they're moving the puck, you saw the pressure that they had. By the end of this power play, I think they had all 5 UNE players right around the crease area. Totally collapsed on their goaltender. Maloney was doing a great job making some saves, and you saw there at the very end, they just keep coming, John. If they don't score on the first, the second, the third, they'll be there for the fourth, fifth, and sixth. And you see there a shot from the point and Santa Pass on the rebound, able to tuck it home, and a 2-0 lead for UMass.
Maloney's been great. Now he's on the wrong end of a 2-0 deficit as he makes the save there on the backhander from Lindsay. Mason sends it all the way back in as chasing after that is Ian Rodden. And Matt, is there anything more demoralizing than playing a tough game and then falling behind by 2 goals because of a bench minor like too many men?
It really is demoralizing, and that comes down to basic communication as you see the icing being waved off here. But it really is tough when you get a penalty like that and then it ends up being the cause for a goal. This will get whistled as the puck touches the ceiling, but it really is. It's a great point, John. Too many men. It's one thing to take a necessary penalty, to stop a goal from happening, but too many men is just a little bit careless. But the thing that's even more demoralizing is the fact that this UMass team just does not go away. No matter what you do, whether you hit them, whether you try to outwork them, they continue to come offensively. You saw in that power play maybe 4 or 5 shots before that goal, and Maloney as a goaltender has got to be thinking, man, what else can I do to win this hockey game? I'm already down 2-0.
Yeah, he's been outstanding tonight, unfortunately for Maloney and the natives of Vermont and UNE. They just can't get things going here offensively against the Beacons and Billy Faust. Beacons continuing to apply the pressure as Larkin sends it towards Crawford. He can't settle it down, and now here is Brady Florent the other way. He's got Bankston in front, centers it instead for Trevor Florent. He got hooked up, no call. UMass Boston getting the benefit there as here is Crawford going D-to-D for Chukrin. Gabe all the way up ice and fires it in on Maloney, and Connor, unfortunately for the Nor'easters knows the Beacons can close in quickly. He covers up with 6:03 to go.
Really smart play by the freshman defenseman and Gabe Chakrin. He didn't have the forwards necessarily coming with him. It was a little bit of an awkward breakout, and instead of just trying to force a pass cross ice or dump a puck in and let his forwards go to work, fires it on net, forces Maloney to make a save. He had to cover it up, and now you got an offensive zone faceoff.
Colucci will take this face-off against Danny Antonoff, and as these two feisty competitors jockey for positioning, it is eventually Antonoff who wins on the reset. Back below for Walsh, and the 5'7" defender will send it all the way down into the Beacon zone. Carter stretches it for Santapass, who scored the second goal of this game, his 9th of his career. And the freshman from Northbrook tries to just careen this one off the back of the netminder Maloney, but instead it kicks wide and allows a 3-on-2 the other way. Here comes Jackson Tucker as he was looking for Antonoff, but Antonoff couldn't settle it down, and that's all for naught as it's dumped all the way in by Bishop.
Unfortunately, that's going to be an icing. Bishop got too much of it. He was trying to float it out and let his forwards do the rest of the work, got too much of it. It's going to come down back the other end, and that rush looked just a little bit offside, didn't it, John? I saw kind of a little bit of delay on the blue line. Not much reaction from the players, though, so let it play on. But 5:30 here in the second period, 2-0 lead for UMass.
Beacons leading 2-0, trying to make it 2-1 with a quick blast as Blaze Healy. That one trickles wide. Meanwhile, the Beacons trying to just clear it out of the zone. Santapass does so. Good play by Garrison as this will not be icing. Settling it down in his own zone, the senior captain Kyle Williams.
Beacons have done a much better job on the forecheck, pressuring UNE, and again, getting pucks deep and then allowing the forwards to go to work out of the corners to generate opportunities.
Miller sends it back for Bishop, who tries to just play keep away here from Healy, and then Miller tries to clear and instead sets it up right in front from point-blank range, but getting a piece of that shot from Pearl was Billy Faust. Right in front again, a backhander down low, but this time Bishop gets it, and he's able to find an outlet to Demchuk. One-on-one Demchuk, and he gets tripped up a little bit. Great defensive play by Williams. That's why he's a senior and a captain as he sends this one out of play for a face-off.
I think Demchuk's going to be a little bit upset with himself. He pushed that puck a little bit too far in front of him, and that allowed the defenseman to close the gap. If he keeps that puck closer to his stick, he can make more moves, and right before that, I had no idea what Miller was trying to do. Backhand up the middle? I mean, that easily intercepted, and Faust bails him out with a big save to keep it a scoreless hockey game.
That's what's great about hockey, folks. That puck came into the crowd, and a young fan got it. Couldn't be more than 3 or 4 years old. You know he's going to go home happy from this one, regardless of the outcome, and maybe even more with the way it's going, as this one's gobbled up by Faust. 2-0 Beacons, 4:34 to go.
Well, the one thing you got to be aware of is this dreaded 2-goal lead. And we've seen this happen a little bit with UMass is they start to get a little bit comfortable. They start to get away from some of the things that got them to this point. A UNE team that, again, we haven't seen much of it here in the second. They have had some opportunities, haven't tested Faust too much, but a team that has their way offensively as well. So last thing Beacons want to do is let up, keep your foot on the gas, continue to pressure.
That one's centered in, and Billy Faust in the right place at the right time, short side to make the save. Meanwhile, that shot, Faust never saw it from Tom Gildersleeve, but luckily it was blocked down in front.
That second save by Faust was tough. That'll get touched by a high stick. We'll have a face-off. That second save was tough. He had to crouch down extremely low to find that. Once he did, got his blocker on it to make a nice save. 4:18 left in the second.
As we have a pause in the play, I'm looking up and down New England's roster. Just 2 international players. Native of British Columbia, Sam Vikic, senior forward, and a native of Moscow, Russia, Pavel Tarashenko, a sophomore who's not dressed today. Kind of disappointed. I love saying the Russian names, Tarashenko, Kovalchuk.
There you go. We've seen a couple of them, too. More international players now in the NEHC.
It definitely brings a diverse culture and a lot of flavor. They certainly are better offensively, traditionally overseas. But we've seen some great Russian defenders as well come over the last couple of years. Meanwhile, here's Gallagher finding Gannon, whose rising shot is gobbled up, and then losing it for a moment there was Maloney, but he gets the benefit of the whistle with 3:52 to go, second period of play. It feels like almost it's the third period already with how much action we've seen today.
This has been pure transition hockey. Both teams just utilizing speed and really just kind of a race. As soon as there's some sort of turnover or some sort of transition, teams look to jump on it, generate a rush. You see Maloney with a nice save there. That puck was loose, however, and UMass just wasn't able to find it in the back of the net.
Top line out there for Peter Belisle's club as Chakrin gets it in neutral ice, just fires it back in for the Beacons to get onside, and then chase as Larkin was the first man down, but evading that one towards Brady Florent. Florent looking for Trevor near side wall as The two Florent brothers collide with each other momentarily. Chakrin clears it out of the zone, settled down here and neutralized by Williams, whose momentum takes him into his own zone for an outlet pass. As getting possession is Bankston. He could not get it in, and offsides was Northeastern. As this one came out, Bankston tried to get it back in, but Brady Florent was over the blue line. We have 3:23 to go here on the Beacons Broadcasting Network as we reset for a neutralized faceoff.
And a little bit of a side note there, that puck was dumped in down the Beacons end, and I see Faust will cover that up easily, but saw both backup goaltenders flinch on that dump in. The puck was hit off the glass. You see Jake the Snake and Zach Andrews, who got the night off tonight, and they're laughing about it now. They both flinched on that dump in. They must have been chatting and not seen it. But never good to see goaltenders flinching as Faust makes another save and covers up. What do you think, John?
About the goalies? Well, I'm wondering, first of all, what they talk about for 60 minutes over there. You're a guy who obviously played goalie for the Beacons, and sad to say you were on the bench some of those times.
I saw my fair share of bench time. The topics vary. You know, usually you see the trainer Ed over there. He gets involved a little bit. It can be anywhere from food, obviously anything going on with the girlfriend, obviously hockey, variety of topics.
I'm thinking macroeconomics and international politics.
From time to time, absolutely. Foreign policy, of course.
Absolutely, as this one comes back behind Middle East relations and the like. That's what they discuss between Jake Kaler and Zach Andrews, I'm sure, right now, as the Beacons try to stretch this one forward. And now this one is sent wide. And then who was the backup that you usually chilled with on the bench when you were here?
I had a good couple guys. I mean, Zach Andrews was my guy when he wasn't playing, but I had Tanner Jones, who was with me for a little while, and I saw my fair share of bench time. I was usually mixing up with more of the training staff than anything.
Hey, I mean, I kid you when I say you were a bench goalie. I mean, a bench goalie is a lot better than what I ever was, a never was goalie, as this one is taken at the blue line, careens out. A good poke check made there by Florent, as it's taken now by the Nor'easters behind their net with 2:15 to go. That one deflected all high off the glass. Watch out up in front here in this crowd, which is pretty well populated. And now backhanded by Carter behind the net for Mason. Mason moves forward, good feed as he's able to find Demchuk. Demchuk down there with McGregor 2-on-2. Demchuk takes the shot, but this one sent well wide of Maloney's net. And able to settle it down, Rossetti, and Maloney will eventually get this one in his glove to cover up with 1:50 to go.
Well, with 1:05, we've seen UMass, who's had this uncanny ability to score late in a period. And with 1:05 offensive zone, definitely going to be cognizant of what they run off the draw here, because, again, we've seen a tendency for them to be able to get one late, and a 3-0 lead is much preferred over a 2-0 lead headed into the period, to the third period.
McGregor wins the faceoff, then tumbles down as is able to trickle down towards Dustin Walsh. D-to-D feed is able to allow them to get out of the zone. And now here's Blaze Healy using some speed to dump this one all the way in for Faust to settle down. Beacons trying to get it out of harm's way here with 1.5 minutes remaining. Brett Mason utilizing his speed to dump it in backhand. Demchuk coming all the way in on Maloney. Almost picked his pocket, but Connor was just able to get it into the corner. Now here's a quick spin around shot by McGregor. That one careened off the side of the net behind the net as it's taken by Blaze Healy. Healy just tried to send it along the far side boards, but it was knocked down by UMass Boston. Did Crawford keep that in? He did. Quick pass, he scores! What a shot! Top shelf for Drew Gannon. Oh my goodness, it's 3-0 UMass Boston.
What did I say? I'm a predictor again, huh? How about that? Crawford. That puck looked like it was just about on its way out of the blue line. Crawford was able to keep that puck in, put it right on the tape of Gannon, who puts that. That's a snipe, huh, John? Right underneath the bar. I love hearing that ping sound and underneath in the net for a 3-0 lead. What a shot, and really what a celly. I like the way he celebrated at that right towards the crowd. 3-0 UMass.
That was a beaut and a half as that one coming from Gannon. We saw last week when we did the game together, Gannon had a beautiful one-timer goal top shelf. I tell you what, he is a tremendous shooter and somebody to keep an eye on, the freshman out of Plano, Texas. They say everything's bigger in Texas, and his shot is evidence of that.
There's another opportunity.
Right in front, an opportunity for Gannon. Right you are. Instead, it trickles down to the point for the Beacons blue liners. Deflected, good save with the left leg there by Maloney as it comes back behind the net for Finger to settle down. Jeremy backtracks behind the netting as it comes towards Gannon to take a shot from a tough angle as this one's gobbled up by Maloney. 26.7 to go 3-0 UMass Boston.
It's got to be so frustrating playing UMass when they just continue to press. I mean, they just don't take shifts off anymore. And that's such a great thing to see. You know, in yesteryear, you'd see a program that would have a couple shifts off, couple shifts on. It seems once they get in a groove, they just continue, and it's wave after wave of offensive with shots on goal. It'll be very interesting to see where Maloney ends with his total shots by the end of the night.
Larkin won that face-off. That one deflected off the point blast from Bishop. 20 seconds left. Beacon's just trying to keep it in the zone for more momentum. Instead, here comes the Florent brothers the other way. Brady is able to find a man in front. Great save, Faust. Rebounds right there. What a save by Billy Faust when the net mouth scrambled to his right.
Unbelievable save by Faust on that rebound opportunity.
This one comes to the point. Last chance, Tucker Ross. Far side save by Faust. And a little bit of momentum building there for Florence and the Nor'easters late here in the second period. But Billy Faust stands tall. After 40 minutes of play, it's 3-0 right here on the Beacons Broadcasting Network. Whew. Exciting stuff, Matt.
I'll tell you what, we talk about frustration. Forget about the offense. How about going down the other end and having to face a goaltender like Faust? You finally get some opportunities, and there's Faust kicking his pads. I can't believe he came up with that rebound save. You heard that puck was labeled far side, and you heard that boom. That was the sound of the pad making connection with that puck. What a save at the end of the period. What a series of saves for Faust at the end of that period. With a 3-0 lead headed into the third. Before that, though, we're going to send it down to Steve Witkowski, who's got Coach Blyle after 2 periods.
Coach, after the first period, we talked about executing on second chances. How did you guys do that this period?
That was our first goal. We had a second chance, and our power play was second chance opportunity. So that was nice to see.
How do you guys finished yesterday, third period, played great, 3 goals, and held the other team to none. How do you finish today and get a weekend sweep?
We can't change the way we're playing, and that's human nature. Of 3-goal lead, you let off the gas pedal. We can't do that because we're going to let them back in a hockey game. So that's going to be my message.
Thank you, Coach. Back to the booth.
Thank you, Steve, and thank you, Coach. And right now, we're actually going to pay tribute to Catherine Wall, number 11, 3-sport athlete at UMass Boston. Tragically lost her life to breast cancer at the age of 29. We're going to show you a little bit of a tribute video as it is Pink in the Rink Day here at Beaconville.
It's not often that someone makes such a profound impact in such a short time. Yet in just a decade, Catherine Wall left a lasting mark on UMass Boston athletics. The 3-sport athlete and UMass Boston Hall of Famer was a star on and off the field for her 4 years with the Beacons as she journeyed back to be an assistant coach. Yet her time was cut short as she passed away this past September due to her third bout with breast cancer. Welcome back to another episode of Behind the Beacon. I'm your host, Haley Detton. This week, we honor Catherine Wall and look at what other teams are doing to honor her as well.
I met Wall, and that's how we all refer to her as Wall, in the fall of '04 when she entered here as a very immature, hyper freshman who was planning on playing 3 sports here. I didn't find out we were actually distantly related until she was entering her senior season. And to be honest with you, when I found that out, through a phone call from her mom and my mom, I thought to myself, oh, I'm related to the craziest kid at UMass Boston. But crazy in a fun way, because I love Catherine Wall.
I always looked up to her, no matter what she did, even as a person, but especially as an athlete. She was an awesome role model. And then I got to high school, and I was lucky enough to have her as a coach for hockey for 3 years, and not only was she very educated, but she was the funniest person I've ever met. She always made serious situations into a little more positive and always got a smile on my face no matter what.
I've never coached a player as tough as her. What she went through to be on the field, the ice, and the softball field, I don't know how she did it, and that just shows how much she loved the athletics programs and the sports she played. You know, not having her there for her day, you know, there was an emptiness inside.
And she was a three-sport athlete and excelled in all three sports, and that's not something that, you know, is really typical of any division. But being a collegiate athlete and having so much success in each sport has really, you know, contributed to the success and the growth of each particular sport that she played in, whether it was hockey or soccer or softball. All three programs, you know, have really kind of moved forward, and it was athletes like Wall, you know, that really helped us build the foundation going forward.
She fell very, very ill, and we needed to get her home. And as a Beacon family, we came together and sat down and talked about it and what we could do to help her family, and especially Catherine, get home where she needed to be. And so we started a GoFundMe page, and not even 10 hours, we had $16,000. It was unreal to see how many people actually cared, and it shows how much Catherine had an impact on every single one and how much of an inspiration she really is to everyone.
What struck me is the impact that she actually made while she was here. And I obviously see it differently because I'm an administrator, but she clearly made a very strong impact here because, you know, the article that Charlie Peters wrote, who was a baseball player at UMass, the showing of support from women's ice hockey players in her era, softball players in her era, soccer players, you know what, as well as other players who didn't get a chance to play with her on those three teams as well. So clearly the impact that she made with her teammates and in those programs went much further than I noticed on an everyday basis.
I think our first Think Pink game was when Wall was diagnosed, and it just hit home that it really can affect anyone. And for someone Wall's age to be going through what she did, it really, like I said, it just touched home. And, you know, we wanted to make it special and make sure she knew that her Beacon family from the women's soccer program would always be behind her and support her and do whatever we can to help her.
You know, it means a lot to our program to be able to put on a pink shirt and, you know, pink socks and really actually play for a reason. You know, it's unfortunate that we do have to put, you know, those initials and that number on a T-shirt, but you know, we want to make sure that we can support Wall and her legacy as a Beacon and support her family in any way that we can.
I couldn't be more honored. Catherine loved soccer. I would say it was her best sport, and she loved Zombek, and Zombek had a big impact on her life as well. And just to be out there with the girls and experience it was awesome. And I know Catherine was watching down on us and helped get those girls that win that day. To have my girls out there and supporting me, supporting her family especially, it was a good honor. And have the Walls there watching the games was also very touching. And no one can compare to Catherine. But every out, every play, every at-bat I have, I'm always thinking about Catherine. And I just want to be half the person she is.
But to be able to try and work to carry on her legacy by raising money and hopefully getting together with the family to create something that will be lasting, that will benefit athletes in the future is kind of my hope, and that we can be able to work with the family to send someone to a sports camp or create a scholarship, doing something that Wall loved.
She loved this place. It was, you know, her mom continues to say those 4 years at UMass were the best time of her life. And there's nothing better to hear that from somebody's parent when you know you've been a part of it and there's been so much support around it.
UMass Boston Athletics has already raised over $700 for the Catherine Wall Foundation. The next Think Pink Games to honor Wall will be on January 30th, held by the men's and women's ice hockey teams. Until next time, I'm Haley Dutton.
Welcome back into the broadcasting booth here on the Beacons Broadcasting Network. I am John Skudras along with Matt Meisenbacher. Let's take a look at the second period intermission statistics as UMass Boston leads 3-0. All 3 goals scored in the second period. Outshot the Nor'easters 23-12 in the second. They extend their lead in shots for the game to 42-18. My oh my. Meanwhile, face-offs, the Beacons doing a good job. That is the overall face-off total, 29 out of 50 for UMass Boston. And on power plays in that period, the Beacons were 1 for 2, not 1 for 1, as they are now 1 for 2 for the game, and UNE 2 for 4, 0 for 1, as the UMass Boston ends up killing off the only one they faced. So for the Beacons in that second period, things got a little iffy at first, as the Nor'easters were putting on a lot of pressure on Billy Faust in the first few minutes, but then they broke through with the even strength goal from Mike Miller.
Mike Miller, who has found himself back in the lineup after spending some time in the stands, has reincarnated himself coming out here and done a nice job finding, but that play was really indicative of the Beacons offense overall, who did a really great job of continuing to swarm and wave after wave of offensive prowess. But right now, let's take it to the replays from the period as we'll take a look at some of the highlights. And moving forward here, we're going to see a nice stop here as Bishop comes across with that stick. Look at it, lays it out there as long as he possibly could to keep that backdoor pass from coming through. Now we'll take it down, and Maloney really had a nice period. Came away with a lot of big saves, as you'll see here. There's the first, and then another on the breakaway. I think Kalushi kind of misses this second backhand opportunity. Regardless, Maloney played well. Here's the first goal for UMass. They're going to transition into the zone as you see Demchuk there, off pad, right into Miller on the backhand, who was able to tuck it home, something that Coach Blyle preaches all the time in practice. We'll see another save by Maloney here. Puck on the blue line. Carter's going to fire this one through. A nice stop second. A third there with Albie Daly on the doorstep. You see him took a big hit after that, but Maloney with 3 saves in that one setting there. And then here are the 2 other goals for UMass. As you'll see, pass is going to come across. Nice save there by Maloney. And there's the puck. Santa Pass was able to tuck it home. Had 5 or 6 shots prior to that on Maloney's, of which he stopped all of them, but a nice job on Santa Pass being able to tuck that home with 13 seconds left on the power play. And then here's Gannon's goal. A nice save there by Crawford, keeping that in, and look at that shot, posted in. They got the Selly. Of course they got the Selly. Nice shot by Gannon to be able to tuck that home for a 3-0 lead, and then we'll end the period. Look at Faust, who really was only tested a handful of times with 1 save, and then look at that kick save at the end of the period, was able to get the pad out and keep this a scoreless hockey game from a UNE perspective. So you see the highlights of the period there. We saw, John, you mentioned how tired we were. Felt like the game was already in the third period. We still have 20 minutes left to play.
And when you say we, I'm not even talking about the players. I'm just talking about you and I up here having to broadcast this game. I mean, that is a manic and fast-paced game up here. You stay on your toes when you're broadcasting for the UMass Boston Beacons. That is for sure. So as you mentioned, the 3 goals in the second period. Mike Miller's 9th, assists from Demchuk and McGregor. Santa Pass on the power play at 12:47 also gets his 9th. The freshman Garrison Santa Pass has a bright future.
Oh, I've seen some things. Now, first half of the season, we thought he was going to step in and just really be kind of the offensive leader for this team. Quite honestly, second half, a little bit of a dwindle. We've seen him kind of try to get some of that chemistry back. He's trying to find his way. I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that people know who he is now. He can't fly under the radar. They come into the game knowing the name Santa Pass. So he's making the necessary adjustments, but it's good to see him get one here. Hopefully that'll light a fire for him, because they need him with that big size to continue to produce.
Yeah, and also they talk about in professional sports hitting a rookie wall. I think there's definitely a freshman wall as well. First year here playing collegiate hockey and next level up. It can't be easy maintaining that momentum through the entire schedule.
Without a doubt. I've seen it, across the board. Guys come in freshman year, and usually it's one of 2 things. Either slow out of the gate, pick it up in the second half, or really quick out of the gate, and then you got to make adjustments to the second half. But we've seen a lot of freshmen, particularly in the defensive standpoint, have really stepped up and owned their roles on this team really from the get-go.
Absolutely. That goal from Santa Pass, assisted by Matt Lemire, is 27th, and Colin Larkin, who joins the 20 club with his 20th assist. And then the Beacons put the cherry on top of a fantastic second period with just 1:07 to go. Drew Gannon's 4th of the year, top shelf where Mama hides the cookies from Zach Lindsay and Jeremy Finger, as the Beacons take a 3-0 lead into the second period intermission. Let's look around Beaconville and get another look and an update at how the men's basketball team is doing, live from Keene State College, as the women's team earlier lost by 16 points. The men end up losing by 17, so they do them one better, getting throttled by a Keene State as the Owls win the doubleheader in basketball. And earlier today, of course, the Cadets came marching in and marched out with a victory, 1-0 over the women's hockey team, right here on the Beacons Broadcasting Network. Let's look at the NEHC scoreboard. As always, the New England Hockey Conference Out-of-Town scoreboard is brought to you by Kaler Sales LLC, a family business focused on bringing you the best prices on all of your logging equipment. Kaler Sales LLC. Babson putting the Blitzkrieg on Southern Maine 5-0. So Southern Maine loses 5-2 to the Beacons. Then they have to go the next day and head to Wellesley and take on Babson. That's not good.
And teams know that this weekend is highlighted as soon as they get the schedule. UMass and Babson, two teams that are really top of the conference for some time now. And you see Southern Maine, who put forth such a great effort last night, might not have a lot left against a great Babson team, already down 5-0 headed into the third period, but Castleton and St. Mike's tied up after 2.
Absolutely. You see the rest of the schedule there between the Beacons rivals as we look around the NEHC, brought to you by Kaler Sales LLC. So we are just about set for the third period of play here from Clark Athletic Center Ice Arena, and Matt Meisenbacher, as we look here at what they have left for the remainder of this game and beyond. What are the keys to the third period for UMass Boston?
You're at home. You've played 2 games in 24 hours. You got a 3-0 lead in the third period. You got a goaltender in Faust who is really, quite honestly, playing extremely well. He stopped, obviously, everything that's come his way at the end of the period there. Did enough to remain scoreless. Headed into the third. Offensively, continue to maintain, and really no need to make those high-risk passes, high-risk plays. Yeah, you can keep things simple. If you got to take an icing every now and then, you can, because you got the comfortable lead, but a lot of what I'm seeing tonight is a UMass team that has played well, particularly in the third period. We've seen a trend of late. They do well in the third period. So look for that to continue, and obviously all 4 lines should be rolling at this point in the game.
Beacon scored 3 goals in the second period of play to take a 3-0 lead, and this line has started every period for Peter Belisle, the Colucci line, as Derek wins that one into the corner. Tumbling down with Santa Pass, Colucci got a stick high to the head or an elbow or something as he was favoring his noggin. And now in the corner, Santa Pass fighting for possession. DeAugustine lets it trickle all the way to the far side. Quick shot in front, deflected. Rebound from Santa Pass. He couldn't get the puck off his stick. Meanwhile, Garrison still maintaining possession, looking to get into that double-digit goal column with 1 more this season. Carter keeps it in, siphons it all the way around the end boards. Colucci thought about going to Bishop. He instead retreats behind the net as he loses possession, and it will be cleared by the Nor'easters.
UMass coming out of the gates right away. You saw a couple opportunities there.
Colucci getting possession here as he skates underneath Brady Florent as he gets DeAugustine right back in front for Colucci. Couldn't settle down that hard pass. DC Niner to the far side for Lemire, fresh on the ice. Matt Lemire trying to dipsy-do his way through the defense. Loses possession, but he's got enough speed to come back into his own zone and feed his defensive partner in crime, Andrew Crawford. Crawford turns it over as one of the Nor'easters slams into the end boards. That was Brady Florent, and then good second effort there by Larkin to intercept that one in his own zone as he will stretch this one for Daly as it careens off the sideboards behind the netting.
Bad turnover by Crawford earlier on, but they were able to recover. Didn't really generate much for UNE.
Good idea to lob that one forward, intended for Quinn, but Quinn gets his stick tied up by Chukrin. Great play by Gabe as both get hooked with each other and tumble down. And now this sets up a one-time shot there from Walsh, but the 5'7" defender got nothing on it. Meanwhile, with possession here is Gildersleeve. He goes to Walsh, back down to Tom Gildersleeve. Centering pass, but getting a piece of that one, Lemire. And by way of Larkin, back to Larkin from Lemire. And now Daly streaking in. Larkin will take the shot, fisted away with the stick there by Morrissey as this one comes back behind the net. In neutral territory, what's the call here? May have been played with a high stick. It was. And the faceoff will come to Billy Faust right.
Good speed transitioning into this zone, and we've seen offensively all lines really have the capability to just not really worry about who the puck handler is. They know what's going to happen. It's going to go towards the net. Their job is to get there as soon as possible. We've seen that from really all 3 lines today, which is great.
Faceoff is won by UMass Boston, and it allows them to clear it out of the zone. Demchuk chipping that feed from Mason towards neutral ice. 17:47 to go, third period. Beacons leading 3-0 as Demchuk motors towards that puck. Keeping it away from him was Nick Totolo, and then it's swatted all the way in by Ben Pearl as the Beacons playing keep away from an aggressive unit of the Nor'easters. Walsh with possession, D-to-D feed for Totolo. And now motoring forward here is Jackson Tucker. With possession, Admiran shot high, waffle boarded away by Faust. Going down is Gallagher, no call. McGregor with the poke check, coming all the way around, trying to get a wraparound chance was Antonov. Danny got it poked away by Gallagher, and now the Beacons have possession. Here is Garrett from the blue line, coming all the way into the attacking zone.
Smart play to get that puck deep, not force anything.
Demchuk now trying to force it into the back of the net with a backhander. Rebound, they score! David McGregor. I believe that's who will get credit for that one. Number 19 in white, his third of the season, and UMass Boston has taken a 4-0 lead.
Started with Gallagher. I said it, get the puck deep. He does. Demchuk does the work, took a big hit to make that play, comes out the other end, puts it in front of the net, and that's where this UMass team is dangerous. Once that puck is in the grade A zone, you got at least 3 guys whacking at it. The final guy was McGregor, and good to see him get one. I thought he had a great game last night. Tonight, the same thing, and he's on the board. Demchuk with the assist.
3 of the Beacons' 4 goals have been scored by freshmen today. You talk about the growth of this team from day one to now, and there's got to be a lot of excitement coming up for the next couple of years for these Beacons, and one reason why just had the puck, Tyler Bishop, just a sophomore.
Exactly, and Coach Bly will be the first to tell you he does not consider his team to have any freshmen at this point. Everyone gets upgraded, and any freshman that's listed as a freshman is considered a sophomore at this point in the season.
Meanwhile, a blast from the point is blocked down. Gannon has possession as Drew will go stretch this one looking for Lindsay. Beacons trying to get something else going as the junior from Egg Harbor is able to let this one go to Gannon. Kept it in the zone now for Carter. Another freshman for UMass Boston as Brian Carter's backhand right into the net mouth and into the crease, covered up there by Maloney, who after really a pristine and perfect first period and a half has been continuously peppered with shots, and eventually something had to give.
And I compare UMass, for those that watch college football or even the NFL, to a team like the Carolina Panthers or TCU or Oregon, a team that just loves to put up points. And anytime they have a possession, they're not going to waste anything. They're not going to run the clock. You see here again.
A great feed in front, the backhand from Daly. What a look from Larkin.
This team just loves playing offense.
Oh my goodness, that was incredible. Up 4-0. They keep the foot on the gas. Meanwhile, here's Florent. Brady gets sandwiched between Crawford and Chukrin and was unable to get it to Bankston.
Florence had Bankston wide open on the side there, just wasn't able to get it to him.
Now here is Brady Florent trying to get it to Bankston, but Crawford's stick was there. Second chance opportunity from Trevor Florence off the mark as this one trickles all the way to neutral ice. Walsh whiffs on the outlet pass, taken there by Daly. He finds Larkin in the slot. Larkin couldn't get a shot away. Backhand feed in front for Daly, knocked down there, and now it comes back behind the net. Daly got tripped up, no call. Guilty party there, Nick Totolo.
Totolo, 100%. He thought he was even looking like, I just took a tripping call. Ref just decided not to call it.
Motoring through neutral ice, here's Admiran. Joe takes a shot. Squeezing those legs to deny it was Faust. Backhand pass right in front, coming through the net mouth there from the shot from Admiran, and it's taken from Larkin. Behind the net backhander, able to find Gallagher, and the Beacons just trying to get it out of harm's way here with 14:57 to go, but unsuccessful. Mason now with possession, loses it. Backhander right in front, but Billy is right there to cover up, hugging the post. And with 14:50 to go, we'll have a face-off to the netminder's right.
That's the Dominic Hasek. Pick it up with the blocker. Forget about the glove. And you saw Billy Faust there, something they probably don't teach you in goalie camp, but a guy of his talent level is able to do so. Cover it up with the blocker and grab a whistle to get a line change.
So the face-off will come in the Beacon zone. They'll have that Colucci line out there with DeAugustine, Bishop, Santapass, and Carter. Face-off won by Colucci to Bishop. He goes around the horn and then gets it right back from Carter. 3-on-2 for the Beacons if they hurry. Great feed for Santapass, but he couldn't get his stick there. And this one dies in the corner to be taken there by Christian Rossetti, who sends it all the way around for Tucker Ross. Knocked down by Colucci, centering feed for DeAugustine, and a freight train was coming in. That was Rossetti. Luckily, Frankie picked his head up.
Rossetti had him labeled, and DeAugustine knows he had his head up, was able to avoid. Otherwise, that would have been a massive hit.
Yeah, that would have been dangerous. Meanwhile, here's Bishop. He's always dangerous when he has his stick on the puck. Instead, it's DeAugustine dumping it in, and we will get a penalty. I didn't even see Brian Carter go down in neutral ice, but he is down still. Might have taken a high stick, and we will get a penalty coming on up, and the Beacons will go back to the power play.
Yeah, it was very much behind the play. Rossetti's definitely going to go. He's going to get called. Not what sure for, but Carter, something happened. He's keeled over. He's walking out on his own power. Let's see if he heads right to the training staff or stays on the bench. He's talking to the trainer, Ed Perkins, right now. Again, not sure what happened. Was very much behind the play. Ed seems to be looking at his shoulder neck area. We don't want to speculate at all what happened on that play, but definitely something, because Tyler Bishop made a beeline for Rossetti. And it's his shoulder, as you see on the bench, or you might not be able to see as the play's down the other end. But Carter just kind of flexing his shoulder a little bit. Perkins is going back to the training area, so it looks like Carter's okay. It might just be a stinger. And the refs are talking about it here. This might be, again, I wish I saw it, but might be talking if this was something egregious, because the refs are taking some time talking to both captains. At this point in time, it looks like it's just going to be a minor.
Well, Rossetti got away with one just a minute before that behind the net when he tripped Daly, and so that's just karma coming back as he ends up heading towards the sin bin. It will be 2 minutes, and the Beacons will have another power play. They've already scored on the power play, and they're looking to increase what was a very solid power play, 26% coming into today's action, as this one's dumped behind the net by Bishop. Settling it down, Santapass. Santapass has a man, that's Lemire. Just has to backhand it off the end boards. Lemire avoids the hit, and the Beacons are able to keep it in. Bishop D-to-D feed here. Larkin gets it poked away, and now Tyler decides, heck with that, I'm just going to pull it back and reset.
Yeah, it was a lot of pressure. Smart play by Bishop to rather possess rather than force anything.
Tyler with possession, and he'll go D-to-D now for Larkin. Larkin's fast, deflected in front. What a great feed from Larkin as Frankie DeAugustine almost got one there.
John, I'm just going to sit back and watch. These guys are moving the puck extremely well. It's fun to watch.
It's like watching poetry in motion as Bishop with possession goes far side for Larkin. Larkin pinches down, right in front, deflection, rebound, they score! I think Frankie DeAugustine was the one to get his stick on it, and the UMass Boston Beacons have put a 5 spot on the board. If it is Frankie's, and it looks like it is, it's his 12th of the season, his career high and team leading 12th of the season, and his 41st career goal and 92nd career point. It's 5-0 UMass Boston.
Frankie DeAugustine in front of the net, and John, you can almost feel it coming, can't you? They generate like 1 or 2 opportunities offensively. You start to see the opposing team collapse a little bit in front of the net, which is the last thing you want to do with this UMass team, as well as they pass the puck. And there, Maloney with the first save, and again, 3 forwards in front of the net. It's just a matter of whacking it home. DeAugustine was the last to touch it. 5-0 Beacons.
The Beacons, who won 5-2 over Southern Maine yesterday, taking on another team hailing from Maine and putting together a show again. It's 5-0. Now, meanwhile, here's the Nor'easters almost getting on the board as Brady Florent was down low off the rebound, but unable to punch that one home.
Good read by Faust to know he was going upstairs.
Meanwhile, that one trying to find Brady Florent was Bankston. It's intercepted. 2-on-1 UMass Boston. Lindsay's got finger. He takes the shot, kicked away by Maloney, and this one comes back to the point for Crawford, deflected in front by Finger. That one wide of the net. Down low, that was Gannon, who was down there with Finger, and now trying to get control of the puck there was Lindsay, but it's dumped all the way in by Brady Florent, and going for a full line change will be the Nor'easters as they trail 5-0 with 12.5 to go. Getting sandwiched into the boards was Gallagher, almost set up a chance the other way for the Nor'easters, but Crawford is back, and Gallagher is favoring his left arm.
And I've noticed that he might have taken a hit earlier on. He does seem to be favoring it a little bit. I think he did take a hit earlier in the game. Doesn't seem to be too concerning.
From a bad angle, and then taking a hit between the legs is Gallagher, and you know that is not going to feel good as he is down on top of the puck.
Yeah, without drawing too clear of a picture, I think that puck might have hit the one spot that any man in the world would prefer it not to hit, and he's getting off the ice as best as he can. Hopefully he collect himself on the bench. He will be looked at by the training staff, and I'll tell you asked me earlier, as a backup goalie, you give each other kind of a bump and just kind of laugh, because we know how that feels being in the net. It usually happens at least once a week in practice. Nice save by Faust, but we're going to get a penalty here in front, and it looks like it's going to be Carter's going to get called for a hook, and hopefully Gallagher's all right, and training staff's already backed off of him, so he seems to be fine, just collecting his breath. But yeah, Carter's going to go for a hook here, and UNE with a chance, 11:49 in the period, chance to put one on the board.
So we're under 12 minutes now here in the third period. Beacons have scored 2 goals in the third period after scoring 3 in the second. It's 5-0, and another chance for a power play here for the Nor'easters. Try to get on the board. This one sent far side, keeping it in there. A good play was Ross as he found Williams. Back behind the net, Crawford trying to swat that one out of midair. He got called for high stick if he made contact. That one gets by. McGregor just trying to swat it towards Daly. Good idea. Just could not execute.
Effort was there, just couldn't make contact.
And now here near side, an opportunity for Armand. He settles down towards Ross. Big shot save. Faust lost the rebound at first and then covers it up as Billy Faust continues to stand tall in his crease and settles things down with 1:34 to go.
Well, fortunately for Faust, he was able to get a glove on that because that puck was in front and UNE had multiple whacks at it to try and drive that home. It looked like Antonov was the one in front. Had multiple chances at it, just was in the glove of Billy Faust before he had a chance to bury it home.
So the faceoff will come to Faust's right. Trying to win that Daly. Instead, it's taken by Ross off the faceoff win for the Nor'easters. Blocked down, sent near side, and that one was deflected by Daly as it sent shooting into the sky with 1:27 to go in the power play.
How fearless is Daly, John? I mean, you saw him block the first. Puck was still at the blue line and comes right back out. He almost looks like a goal turn. He comes out with the stick and keeps everything locked and tight, not afraid to get hit by that puck, and ends up with 2 blocked shots in one shift.
Yeah, let's keep in mind, this is literally 30 seconds after his teammate just got hit in a very uncomfortable area blocking a shot.
Good point.
As this one sent all the way down to Tucker Ross as he will clean up, send it all the way around for Kyle Williams. Williams backhands it towards Ross. 65 seconds, remaining on the power play. Good forecheck for Demchuk, who's getting more penalty kill time here in the second half of the season. Far side coming on in is Walsh. Walsh drops it back, D-to-D feed for Rodden. Rodden dumps it for Brady as he sends this one high. That one off the glass behind the netting. Gallagher tries to clear, he cannot. Settled down by Rodden to Walsh. Walsh back to Rodden. Defenders play catch here. Sent in, deflected high and wide by Brady as Florent was able to get his stick on that one. 32 seconds left on the power play. Good clear there by Chukrin. And a line change, all 5 fresh legs out there for the Beacons, 4.
Beacons doing a nice job clearing pucks and blocking shots on this penalty kill. Still 20 seconds left, however.
Trevor Florent drops it back for Walsh. Walsh finds Rodden, who takes it up and dumps it in. Brady and Trevor are out there along with Bankston. They line together even strength, but a great play made by Crawford to dump it all the way down by Walsh. And with Miller bearing down, Maloney has to do something, turns it over to Miller, and he had a chance to find Gannon, but unable to get it to him as the power play expires.
Miller baited him. I was saying in my head, I want to see what Maloney's going to do here, because it was pretty evident. Puck was wide of the net. Maloney went out to play it. Miller recognized and tried to bait Maloney into a pass one side and then get him to go the other way, which ended up happening. Maloney whiffed on it. Miller just a little too late recognizing it and then ended up firing it up in the glass.
Face-off won by Lemire to himself, and he shoots that one across the net mouth. Meanwhile, this one cleared past Mason. Chasing this one down will be Ryan Quinn. He gets there first. Quinn's nice spinorama move takes the shot. Great play to catch up to that one by Crawford as he deflects it out of play.
And the power play over, obviously, for UNE, unsuccessful. But you mentioned it, Crawford, so active with his stick and just does a nice job being smart in the defensive zone. Doesn't try to do too much. You see him from time to time, every now and then gets caught, but does a nice job night in and night out of maintaining that defensive ability and did a really nice job deflecting that puck up into the netting.
You know, Nor'easters maybe down 5-0, but in his first year at the helm, Kevin Swallows has put together a pretty solid team here. They competed with the Beacons for the first 30-35 minutes of this one, and they're 7-5 in a very difficult hockey conference. So we'll see what lays ahead for the Nor'easters in the future years. Meanwhile, this one's dumped all the way around. Bishop can't settle it down. It comes towards Daly, but pinching in momentarily was Admiran. Instead, here is Larkin. He gets it poked away. Daly gets possession, dumps it in. Bishop has it now. Bishop siphons this one all the way into the corner, where coming on in is Larkin. He takes the hit, but stays on his skates. Lemire now with possession, got it poked away. Big blast there from Bishop, looking for goal number 11, but it's kicked wide by Maloney.
Nice save by Maloney to deflect that puck into the corner. It was a tough shot.
Meanwhile, here come the Nor'easters. Nice move between the legs. Great save by Billy Faust. And the second chance opportunity from Jackson Tucker, the freshman from Matthews, North Carolina, is wide.
Didn't miss by much. Faust was out of position on that second shot. That puck was by him, just missed the net.
Meanwhile, the Beacons trying to keep this lead as this one's sent forward. 8:37 to go. Carter behind the net will regain possession as the Nor'easters go for a line change. He's being pursued there by Rossetti, able to find Colucci, who hits Santapass, who's got DeAugustine to his rear. Ooh, Santapass takes the hit, but it's not him who'll take the brunt of it, it's Rossetti. And we've already seen Christian Likes hitting. And then meanwhile, that one almost made its way through off Santapass's deflection, but Maloney got a piece of it at the last moment.
Santapass buzzing on this shift, a huge hit and then almost a deflection goal into the net. He's going to go for a line change.
Kyle Williams out of the zone, backhanded all the way around. And Gallagher will be the first one to touch this one up. Careens it around the end boards, kept in. Good play made by Ronan for the moment, and now it's backhanded out of play there by Gallagher, chasing this one down Frankie DeAugustine, and they'll wave off icing. Not sure about that, as it looked like Walsh got there first. Regardless, Walsh knocks this one down off the shot from the point from Gallagher. Ronan behind the net, finds Dustin Walsh. He's manned off the puck there, and a good play by Demchuk. Colucci sends it up in front. Meanwhile, wraparound try is gobbled up by Maloney. Frankie looking for more.
And you see Alex Demchuk out there doing a nice job on the penalty kill tonight. Already has an assist. We're going to do a quick shout out to his mother, Linda. They're watching from Calgary. Hello to Linda, Jerry, and the Demchuk boys who are watching us, or listening to us rather, on the broadcast. And Linda, your son's a fine player. Great story playing in his senior year and doing a nice job tonight as well.
Absolutely. Alex playing on the penalty kill here this evening and doing a phenomenal job. The Beacons have been shorthanded 3 times. They have not allowed a goal, obviously, as they lead 5-0 with 7 and change to go here in the third period. Knocked down there by the Beacons. That's Mike Miller taking it in, but unable to get anything on goal, as Chukrin was the one who knocked it down. Meanwhile, Crawford can't settle it down. It comes all the way down for Pearl. Backhanded in front, but Billy Faust was game to deny, as bearing down on him was Armand Umaleo.
Smart move by Faust to not only make that save, but cover it up. And obviously with players streaking around him, he knows very well what he's doing. With 6:57 left in the third, 5-0 lead. Still one thing left to play for here, John, and I'll leave it to you, obviously.
I'm not saying it. Don't even get me started. I've been thinking it for 4 minutes. I'm not saying it.
A lot of time left here. Still something left to play for, as this game seems to be relatively wrapped up for UMass, but obviously still something left to play for a particular teammate in the net.
Certainly is, as Gannon certainly has a lot to play for with the way he's been shooting lately. He takes a player into the boards. As the Beacons are in their own zone, Bishop will just send it back for Carter. Bryan, who's played a sufficient game here, moves forward. Bryan takes the shot. That one sails wide, trying to swipe it away. Maloney keeping it in. Lindsay sends it behind the net, and that will get a whistle, as this one goes out of play. They'll say deflected and will stay in the attacking zone.
And what you do here, obviously, with a 5-0 lead late in the third period, is guys who are a little bit banged up, guys like Lemire, who we saw down, Gallagher, you try to keep your shifts really short, and if you can see an opportunity change, you take it. The game is already at hand. No need to press the issue at this point.
And if you're the Beacons, obviously the game seems firmly in hand. I know the players want to get Billy. That shall not be named.
The proverbial blank.
Exactly. And do you alter your strategy at all? Do you go into more of a trap situation here, up by 5 with 6.5 to go, or do you keep the pedal to the metal like they've been doing? Stick with what works.
Stick with what works, but the thing you got to avoid is those high-risk plays and passes. If you don't have it, just go indirect, get the puck to the red line, dump it deep. Not to say you don't take your foot off the gas offensively. You want to continue to push, as we're dealing with a little bit of an ice issue behind Maloney's net, but you don't really change much. You just continue to press with what you're doing. You just don't want to do anything that's a high-risk play to create Faust with it, have to come up with a big save in order to keep his score-less streak alive.
UMass Boston getting goals from 4 freshmen today, as well as Mike Miller, one of the leaders of this team, and the senior from Rentham. As the Beacons didn't get any goals, believe it or not, from that trio at the top of the line sheet. So that's surprising, but also good that you can win like this without that type of production.
You're exactly right, and a lot of times that can come down just from pure matchups, and as this puck goes out of play, a lot of times teams are going to match up and put everything they have against that top line, which really opens things up for those lines underneath, and that might be the case tonight.
Absolutely, and it's not to say they didn't get on the scoring sheet. Matt Lemire got his 27th assist to lead the team. Colin Larkin gets his 20th career high, as this one is sent wide of the net off the face-off win. That top line is out there, so all that conversation could be for naught if they do score here. Of course, we'd certainly like it, as Daly possesses this one, poked away from the crease there by Maloney, and allowing this one to get out of harm's way and out of their own zone is Jackson Tucker. Gallagher fighting for it with Tucker. Also down there for the Nor'easters is Christian Rossetti, and for the Beacons, Colin Larkin. Larkin able to get it to Mason. Lemire off the edge of his stick, and now he gets it poked away. Beacons are on sides as Larkin moves over the blue line. Lemire able to keep it down towards his stick, but instead it's intercepted and moved forward now, and here is Florent. Brady Florent drops it back. Quick shot blocked down in front on a good play made by Chukrin.
Great block there by Chukrin. That puck was right in the slot. Nice block.
They separated the Florent brothers here in the third period as Brady is no longer lining with Trevor. I've seen that Bankston and Brady are now out there with Ryan Quinn, the top line centerman, trying to get something going there. Meanwhile, here's Daly taking the hit there by Rodden, and Ian will have to reverse his course as he sees big 6'5" Santa Bass bearing down on him.
It's got to be intimidating seeing a guy of that stature coming right for you.
Here is Florent losing it off his skate. And that one kept in momentarily by Bankston. Florent can't settle it down. Frankie DeAugustine can as he backhands it into the air, knocked down with the glove of Rodden. Frankie regains possession, backhanded short side, gobbled up there with the glove and shoulder by the netminder Connor Maloney.
And that's partially why you continue to shoot the puck, is you force the goaltender to not only make a save, but you much have a whistle all the way down in the offensive zone as opposed to any other zone. And keep that puck down that end, make things easy for Faust with 4:47 in the third, still a 5-0 lead.
Face-off won by the visiting Nor'easters as they dump it all the way around, and that'll be icing, barring wheels to burn from Trevor Florent. He won't catch UMass Boston's Tyler Bishop, and as we look ahead, just 4 games left in the regular season for the Beacons, 2 weekends. They're on the road for both next week against St. Michael's and against Norwich. One tough game, one game that shouldn't be as tough, and then they close out against NEC and St. Anselm. NEC, obviously a team that's 500 on the year. St. Anselm, that rivalry is always tough when they play, especially here at UMass. Beacons still have a tough schedule ahead of them. Norwich, St. Anselm, it's not going to be easy.
No, absolutely not, as this puck goes out of play and we'll have a mid-zone face-off. But you mentioned it, a tough way to end. They got to play up at Norwich, which we know what's going on with them this year a little bit. Seems like a rebuilding or kind of a downswing with that organization, but still a tough place to play. They have a huge following, and then the final weekend of the season, regardless of it being senior night, you got 2 teams in NEC and St. Anselm that can easily come in here and get a win. So no small task for the Beacons finishing up the regular season.
Bishop gets it as letting it go was Faust. 4:21 to go. It careens up into the air. Shot up like a geyser as this one is kept on the near side glass. Meanwhile, settling it down, taking a nice shot. Short side and almost getting that one through was Armand as he set that one in. Not even going to try to say his last name anymore as this one is at the blue line for Brian Carter. D-to-D for Bishop. Deflected all the way in there by Colucci. And we said, Norwich struggling this year as this one's taken by UMass Boston momentarily. Mike Miller looking for 2 for the price of 1 today. And say what you will about preseason prognosticators, Norwich got all 10 first-place votes and 100 points in the preseason poll, but they had Norwich, Babson, and UMass as the top 3, and UMass, Babson, Norwich as the top 3, just reversed.
And that's the way the league has kind of been run the last, I would say, 5 years, is really those 3 teams. You probably could mix in maybe one other in Castleton, or even UNE's kind of climbed the ranks of late, but usually those top 3 are Norwich, Babson, and UMass consistently.
Delayed offsides. Demchuk is now onside as he posts this one. Loses it to Tom Gildersleeve, and then around the horn they go for Ross. Kept in the zone by the Beacons. That's Mason. Mason just careens it off the near side boards as McGregor sends it towards Demchuk, who stops it out of midair with his stick. The native of Calgary, Alberta, will do a dipsy-do move to get around the defense. Tees this one up for Gallagher, who tried to get the pass down low for Demchuk. Keeping possession in the offensive zone with 2:55 to go is Miller. Rentham native settles it down, coming back towards the points. And he'll send this one careening around the end boards to be taken by McGregor. Oh, and then McGregor gets crushed into the boards, and the penalty will come from the far side of the ice. So
I'm just glad to see McGregor's okay. That was clearly from behind. I think UNE just getting frustrated at this point in the game, being down 5-0 and not being able to get control of the puck. You see Tucker Ross there clearly from behind on McGregor, and Beacons will no doubt going to try to get one more. This is not a team that's going to back off, especially on the power play. They're going to try to make it 6-0.
I would hope so, as they'll be on the extra attacker advantage for all but 40 seconds, barring a goal the rest of the way with 2:40 to go, as the 2-minute minor there results in a Beacons power play as this one sent right through the crease from Lemire looking for Santa Pass. Now at the point, Larkin, his top power play unit, sees Bishop send one high and wide off the back of DeAugustine and eventually dumped all the way down on a good play made by Williams.
I get excited every time I see Tyler Bishop with the puck in a lane to shoot because we've seen of late he has an uncanny ability right now to put that puck in the net, just wasn't able to do so there.
5-0 UMass Boston, along with Matt Meisenbacher. I'm John Skudras. This is Matt Lemire trying to penetrate the defense. Can't get through. Keeps possession as Larkin whiffs on the first shot, or he was just faking, or lucky but good fake, as this one is back behind the net for DeAugustine. Frankie loses possession but regains it for a moment before it's taken and cleared to the blue line, but not out as Bishop settles it down. 1:48 to go as this one sent down low for Lemire. Tees up Bishop's one-timer, blocked down in front. Nice save by Maloney, and Santa Pass was there waiting for a rebound. Good spinorama move, Lemire. Wide open from the slot, and you're not going to get much more open there, but a great save by Maloney again.
Good to see the goaltender continuing to play here, obviously with Matt Lemire, who's got one of the best shots on this UMass team, and a nice blocker save. 47 seconds left on the power play.
Yeah, we don't have updated shot totals, but they were at about 48 going into the third period, so somebody should probably buy Connor Maloney some dinner after this one.
Yeah, he's going to need some ice as well. I would not be surprised if he finishes this game with 60 shots on goal total.
Absolutely, as UMass Boston, not sure if they have ever crossed the 70 plateau in a regulation game, but that would be a sight to see. I'm not sure what the total is now, but it's got to be over 50 at this point as Carter pinches in. Just 20 seconds to go on the minor penalty. 60 seconds left in regulation time. 5-0 UMass Boston. Here's Mike Miller. Beacons coming on in. Here's Daly. Got it near side. Dumps it back. Almost colliding with Scallucci and Chukrin. DC Niner finds Gabe at the blue line. Penalty is coming to an end with 2 seconds left. Beacons still maintain possession with 40 seconds left in regulation time. Colucci down low. Waiting. Daly finds Colucci, and now it's cleared out of harm's way towards the red line. Chukrin backhands it away from the approaching Quinn, and now he's able to find Pearl coming in. Pearl loses possession. Ben coming behind the net now, fighting through defenders, right out in front, point-blank range, and luckily whiffing on that one was Ryan Quinn. Now here's an opportunity, top of the dot save, rebound cleared out of the zone with 12 seconds to go, and will that be icing? No, they wave it off, and with 7 seconds to go, Billy Faust is going to get his first shutout in 2016. And after months of anticipation, coming close but no cigar, number 30 in white, a much-deserved first shutout of the year, and the UMass Boston Beacons have triumphed over the Nor'easters of New England by the final score of 5-0. What a victory for the Beacons.
Nothing but happiness for Faust, and I love looking. I looked right at him as soon as the clock hit, and he looks directly upward because he had a shutout going last weekend and unfortunately gave up a goal with at or under a minute left in the game and just let it slip away. Just good to see a goaltender get one, and it's always good. I said it yesterday for the women's game. Always good as a goaltender to enter a game with a 0 and finish the game with a 0. Good job by Faust. Good job by UMass. What a weekend overall.
Absolutely. Beacons take on 2 teams from Maine, and they sweep the weekend schedule by a grand total of 10-2. 5-0 in this one. 4 goals scored by freshmen. All 5 scored in the final 45 minutes of this game. And UMass Boston wins by the final score of 5-0. We're going to go to a commercial break. When we come back, we'll have the post-game show, interview with the coach, and hopefully the player of the game as well. We'll let you know who that is, as well as the 3 stars. Beacons win 5-0. You're watching the Beacons Broadcasting Network.
I imagine my education is going to prepare me very well for my future.
I imagine myself succeeding in the business world.
I think I have a future here at UMass Boston.
Just imagine a group of kids coming in and motivating each other, not only on their campus, not only in their community, but hopefully in the world that they live in.
Just imagine a campus with facilities that are comparable to the excellent faculty and students that inhabit this space every day. An opportunity for learning and contribution can happen. It's happening here at the University of Massachusetts, Boston.
I imagine that I'm gonna really enjoy the new campus. You have everything at your fingertips and you're right on the water. You're right outside of Boston.
Just imagine when this space is complete, all the walls are up, the windows are there, the mirrors are there so we can see ourselves dance. We can see how we really express ourselves through movement.
We are constantly trying to forge strong relationships with talented individuals and strong institutions. I can imagine us partnering with the scientists within UMass Boston, working on projects of common interest. Increasingly in the sciences, it will be unusual for somebody to solve a problem on their own. Increasingly we will be solving problems together, and I think UMass Boston fosters that kind of learning.
That Suffolk success really has made a huge impact on me academically because it's provided me with mentors that I know are there for me.
With the Freshman Success Community Program, I'm a peer mentor for that, and we were able to travel to the Azores, which are a group of islands off of Portugal.
From healthcare to the health of our neighborhoods. University of Massachusetts Boston and its students and its faculty and its staff are making a contribution.
Just imagine that your gift would make it possible for our students to go abroad, to see the unfamiliar, to learn how to interact with it, and to see themselves as an integral part of a world community.
Just imagine the world where I can use this environmental science degree to help make this world a little bit better than it is.
I was a legislative intern for Senator Elizabeth Warren in Washington, D.C.
Mr. President, a budget is about building for the future.
I got the experience through a really good professor in the political science department. And I was there, in the Senate. It made me feel good about myself. It made me feel like I could do so much more. There's so much more out there and ahead of me.
Just imagine you contributing to that kind of success.
That's what I imagine, that UMass Boston students are going to become imaginative policymakers.
We have to provide abundant opportunities to our students to succeed. That's our goal, that's our mission, that's the purpose of this Capitol campaign.
Just imagine when I'm an ambassador. Just being forever thankful for UMass Boston, taking that first step with me.
85% of the kids who go to the University of Massachusetts stay in Massachusetts. We are building the workforce of Massachusetts.
Just imagine what your gift can do.
It can be done. We need your help.
Just imagine what your gift can do.
Just imagine what your gift can do.
Just imagine what your gift could do.
Just imagine what your gift will do.
Welcome back into the broadcasting booth on the Beacons Broadcasting Network. I am John Skudras. We'll have our player of the game as well as interview with Coach Peter Belisle. But first, let's look back at the highlights of that third period that saw the Beacons extend their lead and get Billy Faust his first shutout of the season. Take it away, Matt.
Yeah, let's go right to the goals here. You're going to start off with the first one by McGregor. Puck out in front, and watch him just jam away at it. There you see he's able to tuck that home. Nice celebration there for the freshman. McGregor was able to jam it past. That made it 4-0 UMass. And then here you see DeAugustine. Really, he's going to look almost similar to the other goal. Puck goes across the blue line. Bishop feeds it right to the front of the net. And there you see in front, DeAugustine's going to be the last one to tuck that home. A nice goal by DeAugustine. That made it 5-0. And then we've got two nice saves by Faust at the end here to preserve the shutout. First one with a nice save, able to corral the rebound. A lot of traffic in front. UNE was all over him at this point, and then here's a nice save by Faust, really to end the game with about 7 minutes left. You see this puck in front, and Faust is able to get some wood on it, cover it up afterwards. So a nice job by Faust to get the shutout. Well-deserved, and a good job overall by the team, a 5-0 win.
Absolutely. We're going to kick to a quick 30-second timeout. When we come back, we have Coach Peter Belay, who jetted up here. That's how I know he's happy after this big win. And we'll be back here on the Beacons Broadcasting Network.
Go Beacons! Let's go Beacons! Let's go Beacons!
Come on, Jake!
As usual, she wins it. A chance in front. Her shot is in the net. Crystal laid it. Yet another goal.
Please make a gift to the Beacon Athletic Fund today. We want you on our team.
The University of Massachusetts Boston. It's just minutes from downtown, and the Princeton Review calls it one of the best values in the country. A nationally recognized institution of academic excellence and research, UMass Boston offers more than 150 undergraduate and graduate programs, 16 Division III sports, and more than 100 student organizations. To learn more about the opportunities waiting for you at UMass Boston, visit in person or online. UMass Boston, a research university with a teaching soul.
Welcome back to the Beacons Broadcasting Network post-game show. John Scudris here, very pleased to be joined by the winning coach of today's 5-0 shutout victory, Coach Belisle. And Coach, obviously, you've had a lot of games where you got out to these big leads. You thought you were going to get Billy Faust his first shutout of the year, and then at the end you lost it. How does it feel going up to your goalie and finally being able to say, well, kid, you finally got that shutout?
Yeah, no, I thought, we played a complete game tonight, 60 minutes. I really was proud of the guys tonight. I thought we played it pretty good first. It was scoreless, and then we came. I think we got in the second gear in the second, and we finished it off in the third. And the guys were pulling for him on the bench. They wanted it, and we played a little bit smarter towards the end of the game, and we didn't, we didn't cost him a shutout. So that I'm proud of Billy and the team. It was a good win.
Absolutely, and a good win for your youth as well. 3 of the 5 goals scored by some of your freshmen. Garrison Santapass, David McGregor had 2 of them. Drew Gannon with another. An absolute snipe. Top shelf. What does that mean to your program when you see some of these young guys who came in and you're really a little bit unsure about when they would start to contribute, putting together such momentous seasons in their freshman year on this campus?
No, that's big, and it's big for their confidence. And, Garrison, it was big in the first half for us, and I've been really on him. So that was good that he got going, and hopefully that can kind of spark him because he'd been a little bit snake bitten lately. And then McGregor's really come on. He's had some big goals for us, and Gannon too. They've both been scoring last few games, so that's really nice to see. So it's very good.
Yeah, it's good news for the future of this program, and those young players can come through. Now, you came into this weekend, 2 matchups against tough in-conference rivals from Maine. You come out scoring 10 goals, winning both of them. Talk about how important this is for your momentum going into conference tournament time next month.
Yeah, I mean, we got 4 games left, and everybody's going to be gunning for us, and we just got to keep taking it one game at a time and just try to finish the best we can, and that's our goal. And so far so good. It's not going to be easy. It's only going to get tougher. I just told them that, so we got to be prepared.
Speaking of getting tougher, you got a big matchup next Saturday against the Norwich Cadets, one of your biggest rivals. You guys had a huge win to end your regular season, knocking them out of being undefeated in conference play last year. Now they're having a bit of a down year this season, but you have to expect the same tough physical mentality out of the Cadets this time coming up.
Oh yeah, no question. When you go up there, I mean, it's going to be a battle, and we got a really tough game against St. Mike's, on Friday night too. So you can't overlook that. St. Michael's. St. Michael's just beat someone last night. Looking at the scores, so it's every game is just a battle in this league. It's a great league.
Well, we're coming up to the frightful and furious finish of the NEHC. We'll see what happens the rest of the way. Just a few games left for you before that conference tournament. Coach, it's been exciting to watch your team all season long. We're excited to watch them once tournament time comes.
Thank you.
That's Coach Peter Belisle. I am John Scudris here on the post-game show. When we come back, Matt Meisenbacher will have an interview with the player of the game. We'll be back right here on the BBN.
Paris changed my life, and I got there through UMass. Those very specific seminal moments in Paris, the subway. A man in a tuxedo walked in, and a woman in a long gown, and it was stunning. It all hit me. It was It was like a lightning bolt. There was this world of beauty and style that I wanted to be a part of. That was the beginning of the journey. And that all came through the University of Massachusetts. And that was really a key moment for me. That's one of those moments you never forget.
The University of Massachusetts Boston, with its scenic oceanfront campus, easily accessible to downtown Boston, is recognized as a model of excellence for urban public universities. 16 NCAA Division III sports are part of the more than 100 student organizations that create an engaging campus life in America's biggest and best college town. UMass Boston, Boston's urban public research university for the 21st century.
Golden, golden summer, another year no longer young. Oh, I'm so glad we're here again, kicking the leaves left in the rain. I've been
I did receive a non-athletic scholarship upon entering school.
I got the presidential scholarship, which was huge for me.
I think there's more opportunities for academic scholarships in Division III.
I did receive academic scholarships. Just being involved on campus, being a leader, all those things combined kind of get me recognized. It's a great experience for me.
Division III allows you to give yourself to other things.
Having that free time allows me to pursue the things that I want to pursue.
Division III athletics affords students the opportunity to, engage in the other interests in their campus and in their lives outside of that sport.
It allows you to just be able to do everything you want to do. I wouldn't change it for the world.
Welcome back to the Beacons Broadcasting Network. I am John Scudris, very thrilled to be joined by our player of the game and first star, Billy Faust. And Billy, it's been a long road coming. You've had some really close calls when it comes to getting your first shutout this season, but you stuck it out through 60 minutes today. Your players really backed you up. How's it feel coming away with a big victory over the Nor'easters today?
Can't feel any better than this. We're just happy to get the win, happy to keep first place, and nice to see we got a full 60-minute game in.
Absolutely. Now you're coming all the way from the Golden Coast of California. Talk a little bit about how, coming from really not a hockey hotbed, you got into not only playing hockey but also playing goalie.
Well, probably started right around Gretzky got traded to the Kings. It started off in a parking lot of a minor league baseball team.
Really?
Yeah, and then roller hockey, and for some reason I decided to become a goalie. And then ice hockey. I went up to Canada to play juniors, and then Vermont and here.
Absolutely, and that Gretzky trade was really a shot heard round the world when it comes to spreading hockey to Southern California, and it got us one of the best goalies UMass Boston has seen in many years, so we're certainly proud of it. Speaking of good goalies, last night your teammate Zach Andrews had a big win, stopping 23 shots in a victory against your rivals from Southern Maine. Talk a little bit about how you guys kind of learned from each other and how that healthy competition coming into the season allowed you to grow as a player.
Zach's an amazing goalie. He has so much talent that it really pushes, Jake and I to be better every single day. And I couldn't be happier to see him get a win. It's so hard to come in after not playing.
Absolutely.
You get thrown in and you're just kind of expected to, take over where you left off and play well. And he killed it yesterday, and I was just happy for him.
Absolutely, we all were, and we're certainly happy for you getting your first shutout of the year today. We're here with Billy Faust here on the post-game show. Billy, just a couple of games left, big ones next week, St. Michael's and Norwich, a big rival, a team you have a lot of history against. Talk a little bit about the road that you have up ahead, including that conference tournament, how critical these next few games are going to be.
Every game's a playoff game. Everything's huge. Everybody wants to knock us off. If we don't show up to play, any team could really take it from us because they're just they're playing hard. Everyone wants to beat us, so we have to show up with that much more effort and take it to everybody if we're gonna finish out in first here.
Absolutely. I asked your coach, Peter Bilal, the same question, and he said almost the same exact thing. Towing the party line, that's how you know he's a great teammate and a great goalie. Billy Faust with us here on the post-game show. Billy, congratulations. Good luck the rest of the way. We'll be cheering for you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
For Billy Faust, I'm John Skudras. We're going to kick it to one more commercial break. When we come back, we'll wrap things up with a bow, get you ready for next weekend's matchups against St. Michael's and Norwich. This is the Beacons Broadcasting Network.
Something I discovered in myself is that if I have a goal, then I can accomplish it.
It's a well-rounded experience.
At a Division III school, you primarily a student athlete, so the school is really shaped around you developing yourself as a complete individual.
It helps a lot that you have a family with your team that can guide you.
That was Billy Faust here on the post-game show. Billy actually continued our conversation we had on the air with Matt Meisenbacher about backup goalies discussing things on the bench. He said you basically talk about everything under the sun, which I do not have any doubt. The guy's a well-educated young man and a guy who knows how to talk. The UMass Boston Beacons, as you can see on your screen, winning this one in really exciting fashion. 5-0 the final score as they put a absolute blitzkrieg on opposing goaltender Connor Maloney, who stops 49 shots and still loses 5-0 because UMass Boston, in fact, doubles up UNE, 54 shots to 27. Beacons actually losing faceoffs after a tough third period, 37-34. And on the power play, obviously, the Beacons came into this one 26% compared to just 17 for the visitors from Vermont, from Maine, and they end up doubling them up with 2 goals on the power play on 4 opportunities compared to 0 on 2 for UNE. As always, our final statistics are brought to you by DeAugustine Construction Incorporated, located just outside Pittsburgh. Let us be your only solution for your roof, chimney, and fireplace needs. DeAugustine Construction Incorporated. Let's take a look at the 3 stars of the game. The man you just saw, Billy Faust, is our number 1 star. These 3 stars, as always, brought to you by Maples Rehabilitation and Nursing Center. We provide comprehensive quality care and a warm, compassionate environment for all. Our first star of the game, Billy Faust, 27 saves and his first shutout of the year. Frankie DeAugustine with a goal and David McGregor with a goal and an assist. And I'll tell you, this was a little bit hotly contested as to whether or not it was going to be DeAugustine or one of the other spectacular players today, Garrison Santapass, a goal and an assist. He was spectacular, but in the end, we went with the experience and the guy who's gotten it done all season long in DeAugustine. Those are your 3 stars of the game. Let's take a look at an updated NEHC scoreboard as we wrap things up here on the post-game show. Obviously, earlier today, the Babson College Beavers beating Southern Maine by a final score of 5-0. Southern Maine ends up getting swept in their weekend road series by a combined score of 5-2. Meanwhile, the Beacons swept their home series by a combined score of 10-2 as well. Castleton University leads St. Michael's 3-1 in the third period. Norwich, Skidmore, St. Anselm, and New England College also on the slate this evening in the NEHC. Looking ahead at what's coming up for the Beacons, we teased that a little bit during our interviews. Next week, they'll be on the road, not on the BBN, against St. Michael's and number 13 Norwich University. They then come home the following week for their home finales as they take on New England College, followed by the finale of the regular season one day later. I want to thank our production team, as always, a fantastic job not only in the second game, but the first game of our doubleheader as well. Seth Orensky pulling the strings as the producer. Our directors, Elizabeth Glavin and Alex Carasuto. Instant replay, Rachel Maslak. Our sideline reporters, Steve Witkowski. Our camera operators, Anthony Searles, Matt Coakley, Frank Johnson, and Michaela Chianco. And, of course, Matt Meisenbacher, my partner in crime, bringing you all the action right here on the Beacons Broadcasting Network. For Matt and everyone involved, I am John Skudras. Thank you for joining us on an exciting Saturday of hockey on the Beacons Broadcasting Network. UMass Boston wins by the final score of 5-0. They sweep the home doubleheader this weekend and improve on the season to 16-3 overall. For everyone else involved, good night. Good luck and good hockey. We'll see you next time right here on the Beacons Broadcasting Network.